Hello everyone, and welcome to the Swimmer Sink. It is I, Mad Gamer II, and I'm joined by Fusion.
How's it going? It's been a bit since we've talked, and I'm excited for this here SOS. Man, SOS last week, I believe it was last week, unless I'm mistaken, previously had a team cap of 32. That's been capped out for sure. This week, it's been doubled up to 64, and we're still maxed out, so we've got 64 teams gonna be battling for you guys here tonight.
Holy moly, that is quite a lot of people playing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, with even with Proving Grounds, with a whole extra tournament coming out from IPL on a weekly basis, there's still this many entrants, so it's really exciting to see all of the increased engagement in the Splatoon competitive scene. But I think we've had just about enough talk of that. Let's talk about our first match of the day. It's going to be Sonaria versus InkSync. And InkSync, I think they're on a bit of a hot streak. I think they got second in the last low ink. They've been playing pretty well recently.
Indeed, and it looks like we have a few familiar faces playing here as well. Super excited for this first matchup.
Yeah, I'm not incredibly familiar with the members of Sonaria, but the team is more than familiar to me. So we'll see what happens as we seem to be heading into Clamblitz on Wahoo Worlds. Are you someone who has opinions on this stage?
Not particularly. I know the controversy surrounding it, but I don't have any strong feelings towards it at this point in time, but maybe I've not played enough on it to really form such strong opinions.
Alrighty. Well, that is the team comps that we're going to be seeing. Some generally pretty common stuff coming out, but we do see a Dapples and a Hydra. I think this is definitely a great Hydra map. Lots of big open areas. Great to see that. The Dapples, of course, coming out from K, going to be providing the quick respawn with the Tacticooler and those beacons. Already a pretty aggressive start, but a trade ends up coming out on both sides as they fight for the middle of the map.
Quite so, and if the Dapples can get those beacons set up, there's some nice niches that can certainly allow for some quick jump back into the action here, especially for Clamblitz. If you can get one that is behind enemy lines, that can lead to a really sneaky push.
Yeah, here we go, over on the top of mid. They try and start getting a power clam going, but while they're trying to get that all set up, InkSync comes in through the left, cleans out the entirety of Sonaria from that glass, and this is going to open the way for them. Well, as I just say that, two of them go down. Who do they go down to over there? It seems like must have been like the junior. That's crazy. So really big momentum shift there. The whale coming out from that 52 gal. I think this push is pretty dead in the water. They're going to opt to sink rather than swim this time, as Sonaria rebounds and takes back control of that mid. Still, no points on the board. Already almost a minute and a half into the game, but lots of clams on the field. Yet another death. It's been all back and forth.
Yeah, they did lose two of those members there and had to forfeit the mid area, but they were able to hold on to that power clam right there. So that's still going to be some clams in their pockets, ready to go from when they are set up once again. And they're doing a lot of poking back and forth, a lot of bombs getting just thrown out, trying to find an opening, trying to get their foot in the door right there. But so far, no one has budged.
Yeah, already. See a bubble set up pretty defensively in the middle of the map here. And they're just kind of trying to find a way, and two members go down, but that bubble acting like a double-edged sword, as I think some bombs went off on the side of it and end up getting that Hydra killed. This is a Muscle Forge Fitness problem. This is a Mincemeat Clams problem. Very nice bomb there coming out from the junior, but neither team is able to really get their footing. Neither team has been able to hold down that middle of the map. They've been taking that middle, but not the sides, and so they've been repeatedly getting flanked. A very nice pick from Gigas. 2 down. Finally, a person advantage coming out for InkSync, and it's all going to be about whether or not they're able to take advantage of this. They need to get people up forward who don't have that power clam. They know exactly exactly where Gigas is. Gigas tries to back up and gives back up that middle of the map. Everyone is just a little too scared to make a move. Game 1 of the tournament, no one wants to do anything yet.
I think as you pointed out before, this is such a good map for both the Hydra and the Charger right here. They just put on a lot of pressure on the team. You can't really do anything without getting spotted by them. We do see some moves coming out from Instinct trying to get in there, but their push is cut short, and that might be a loss of one of their power clams.
Yeah, they did have that cooler online though, so those respawns are going to come back in. They're not able to get the score on the board just yet, but with the way this game's going, one clam might just be all they need. They really need to wait till that bridge is out, and once it's out, they can make it happen. Just gotta get that Hydra out of the way. It's gonna be up to the Charger to try and do that.
It really does come down to whichever backline can fall first. If they are able to take out that anchor player right there, it will open up quite a bit. And we see the Hydra, they dropped over to the left side, and now the bridge is extended. That might be a good opportunity for them to be able to push forward. We see several members going through the carousel or the underside right there, and the first power clam is going to be thrown into the basket.
Oh my goodness, and that timing was very important as well. I think there was a flank going on the other side coming out from Sonaria. This Booyah Bomb, the Hydra pushing up in the front, trying to lead the way in, but the Power Clam ends up going down behind them. 3 down, InkSync shuts down the push, and it's a full wipeout. What could have gone from a good situation to a bad one. Thankfully stopped just in the nick of time by taking out that Power Clam. I believe that was Jimmy on that Charger getting a very nice pick, and yeah, now it's going to be down in the middle of the map. See if they can lock it down. Jimmy, a very nice pick yet again, tries to move forward a little bit. They don't have the clams to really support this push just yet. They need to clear the way a little bit. The bubble comes out, but so does the bubble on the other side. The cooler comes out as well. Trades going down back and forth on every possible spot of the map. Finally, 3 down onto Sonaria. The power claim is going to go in. That's only going to get 10 points, and it's going to give them a power claim, though. So can InkSync sustain this? 10 seconds left on the clock.
Coming down to the wire here, and InkSync still has that lead, but there's going to be several power claims in possession of Sonaria going into this overtime right here. So if they are able to muster up a strong spearhead here, they can cut right through the InkSync defense. But so far, InkSync is doing a fantastic job of just holding their ground, keeping the paint going, and we see a couple of members just trying to flank around, put some pressure on the back line and take out those clam carriers.
And they hesitate for too long. That's a little bit unfortunate. They just could not figure out a way in time. So InkSync is going to take that game after just a couple small pushes, but a really great defense coming out from them. So that will be game 1. You know, really interesting play coming out from both sides, because I think that map in particular, I feel like that should be a little bit more, not snowball-y per se, but I mean, they had cooler, they had bubbler. You know, it's really says something about Sonaria as well, that even when those came out, like on that final push, they were still able to get trades in their favor, even with the respawning members. So props to them for doing that. And it looks good for them going back into Game 2 Splat Zones on Undertow Spillway.
I think on the other side as well, when InkSync first opened up that basket, they did go almost a full wipe. Just the ability they had to come back and stop Sonaria from getting a push going, even though the Hydra was right on their doorstep. Just props to them for being able to muster up and getting the wipe in return before they could get any points on the board.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, I'm wondering if we'll see that Hydra again coming out from Sonaria, as we're going to be on a Splat Zones map. I think this is a pretty interesting close quarters map, and I'm wondering if they feel like Hydra is the right speed for this map. You know, I think this is definitely a map where I don't think you can play that kind of neutral game. This map goes back and forth in an instant. That middle of the map is where all the scraps are going to happen, and it could be a bloodbath and could be locked out. You could be locked out in just an instant. So we'll see what kind of strategies people adopt to. If any of the backlines end up going towards that top area, it seems like a place that a Charger might have an easier time dealing with that Hydra. But you never know. Ultimately, it's going to come down to who can get the upper hand on the other.
That is true, and we are dealing with a dual zone, so it is possible they might stick with the Hydra, but at the same time that might limit the paint they have to work with. But considering the other team ran a Charger, it might just even out. I think it really comes down to, because of that wall that's on the upper hand, it's really a duel of the backline. It's not, you don't have access to a whole corner of that map right there, so it's difficult to be able to watch both the zones and cover all of the area from up top the entire time. So I guess we'll have to see what they're most comfortable with. But I can definitely say that having the backline on both sides, I don't think either team is going to be able to push up to the opposing team's snipe or that upper area without a whole lot of oppressive fire coming in from the backline.
Alrighty, we got that Nautilus coming out. I'm a big fan of seeing that from Ink here. And I think that that could do a lot of work in the middle of the map. The rain could be good. We do see that Hydra yet again coming out from Sonaria. Hydra already trying to set up on the top of the map. If it works, when it rains, it pours. A really nice pick onto Jimmy there. The Hydra trying to just continually pressure those zones with its continuous fire and almost instant kill right there. But once they get pushed back, it could be dangerous. But so far, it's all looking pretty good for Sonaria here, for Sonaria here as they continue to just try and lock down the zones.
Yeah, that trade between the Charger and the Splatling right there, and so now it's just left to the rest of their mates to close in on the zone. We have the one zone painted the orange, but the other is still purple, and so no one's going to be getting any pointers yet as the crab does come out, and that's going to be two members down of Inksync. So this is going to be Sonaria's opportunity to just ink that zone and take that lead back.
Oh yeah, this Hydra has been doing so much work. They've been doing a great job of clearing out the middle of the map. And finally, the zones are going to flip back to Sonaria's side, and that's going to mean they can possibly set up a lockout. But with their positioning, they're already pretty back towards the zone. Inksync back a little bit too quickly for them. They were not ready for it. 3 down, a complete shift in momentum, and a full wipe. Now Jimmy has a chance to get set up. The cooler comes out. K on those dapples moves up into the snipe. They die, but that cooler's going to have them back in a jiffy. And man, this is looking very strong for them as the storms start to come out.
Yeah, but they're losing the zone rather quickly. It is stalled out for the time being. They haven't yet taken that lead. They do get the 2 members of Sonaria down, so that might allow them to hold on to it for a little bit longer, but it's still in neutral, and they have several of the members just coming back from spawn now, and so it's going to be a bit of a poking action here unless someone can get their specials out to really solidify the hold.
Yeah, absolutely. And Inksync finally grabs back that lead, but just barely. 3 down on both sides. It's a 1v1 in the middle of the map. The Splash versus that Nautilus, I believe. But it looks like Inksync is going to continue to maintain control. They're not going to be able to deal with that Nautilus until that Crab Tank comes out. Screw that beacon in particular. A Crab Tank comes out. They don't want any dapples to drop in behind them. They're not able to get any picks of that, but they do get control of that entire side of the map, and that's going to net Sonaria back this control of the zone. K in a very surprising spot, able to get a pick, but unfortunately goes down. A very nice shark from them, but unfortunately not able to get any more than that. But that could have gone, that could have been very dangerous.
We do see Sonaria really push on here. This was the place that you have to be careful when pushing, because the Charger, they have quite an open sight of you when you're sitting up there, but they were able to get a pick to go with them. And that's going to give them enough time to get that lead back while they do lose the Hydra in the process. That Bubble is just going to stall them out even longer. The Nautilus coming up here trying to get that zone capped, and they do that as well. But it looks like Inksync is still in the middle there, sharking about. They're going to have to hunt them down in order to keep the zone in their favor. 2 members of Inksync going down, but they still have the control of the zone, and this Nautilus is going to be holding that left side for the time being.
They've been doing a great job kind of locking down the middle of the map here. The rain comes out, but unfortunately Sonaria takes back that zone, and this is a really tricky map to kind of hold on. You need to play really far up in order to lock out on this map. You need to play up on that middle left side, close to the wall, otherwise the other enemy team can kind of just paint over you. And neither team has been able to really get that set up so far. Nice double team over on that left side. 2 members of Sonaria going down. This could be really huge for Inksync here, the last member of Sonaria's stuck up in that base. They do manage to back up just in time, and unfortunately the machine ends up going down as well just before they are able to neutralize the zone, or before they're able to get that tie, and Sonaria taking it back, preventing them from taking the lead, and they've managed to just barely hold on.
There is certainly a good chunk of the map that is pretty inaccessible to the enemy team. So if you have quite an avenue to get out, there isn't the biggest choke point is the center right there. So it is easy to log out, but it kind of spreads out your team because you have to really cover quite a bit of that side of the map. Did you see two members of the team going down? Yeah, we have two DCs.
One on each side. It happened really late into the game, so this is going to stand. What the heck? Oh my god. That was interesting. Despite those DCs near the very end, Sonaria manages to hold on. What in the world? One on each side.
That was rather unfortunate. I guess the silver line is that we had one from each side, so it stayed somewhat even through the end of that match, but it was pretty late in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it only happened with like 20 seconds or 30 seconds left. Yeah. That's really strange, huh? Well, I'm glad it was one on each side at least, so it wasn't too unbalanced, but yeah,
that would be extremely unfortunate if it were on Sonaria's side, because they had that lead, but even in a 3v4, it could turn the tide rather quickly, and especially that late in the match.
Yeah. TC Eeltail Alley will be our final game. I believe Cloud has been on that Hydra Splatling, if I'm not mistaken. That's been doing so much work for Sonaria in this set so far, and I think tower control is another perfect place for it. Booyah gets so much value here. You can easily Booyah the tower and jump on it onto this map, as well as Hydra on the tower is generally pretty strong in the first place. Yeah, I think Sonaria could be in a good position here, but you know, the kind of quick respawn aggressive style that InkSync has been pulling out so far could be even more strong on this map. So many corners you have to check for beacons, you know?
Absolutely. And then once that tower really gets moving, there's a lot of good choke points that as you said, that Hydra can just set up really well and just keep them pressured well away from that tower. I haven't seen a junior. Actually, no, there has been a couple of juniors that the bubbler is going to be extremely strong as well, but I wouldn't shortchange Sonaria just yet. They do have that charger player as well. Having that Inkvac is an excellent alternative special for both offense and defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, my mistake. It is Minawi on the charger, on the Hydra Splatling. They've been doing a great job so far. I'm hoping that some, really great aggressive play can come out of this map, because I think we've been seeing a lot of kind of slow back and forth coming out from both teams on these first two maps. Neither team has been able to set up full lockouts, and as a result, it's kind of been unclear which way the game's going to go at any given moment. But finally, it looks like everyone is back in the lobby from that DC, and we're just about ready to get started with tower control on Eeltail Alley. Do you have any opinions on this map?
It is certainly very unique. One of the aspects of it is you can't really go around the enemy team. You just kind of either push through or wait for them to pass. I don't know. It is tough, and I think having such a strong anchor player on both those sides is gonna pretty much result in some of the same plays we've been seeing already. I don't think there's gonna be a dominant play on one side or the other.
Yeah, that's kind of how I've been feeling about this as well. Both teams have been seeming pretty comfortable with the comps they're running. So despite Eeltail, I think, being a very blaster, slosher heavy map and TC being a very blaster heavy mode, we may see the exact same comps coming out on both sides.
We did see that in Nautilus in the last match. There is a little bit of flexibility there. I'm curious to see whether they'll choose to stick with that or bring something else entirely.
Yeah, I suspect we may see the Junior coming back, like you said, because tower control is certainly a very strong place for that Big Bubbler, which I think Big Bubbler is something special. It can do so much work in an instant, and I would be surprised if we see either team pass that up here. Junior coming out on one side, we see the Junior coming out on the other. Double bubble. Here we go. Hydra Splatling yet again. Who you got this game?
I had a short instance where I thought there was dual Junior on the one side, but it was just a splatter shot.
Yes, the fabled Battle Junior.
Regardless, the Inkzuka is certainly going to be quite handy for both just this mode, but this map as well. It can really just shut down the whatever player is just sitting up on that top area, whether it be backline or some other midline.
Yeah, here we go. Over on that left side, we already see members of InkSync trying to get set up. Very nice pick from the machine and a shark. They're all pushed ahead of the tower very aggressively, and that's going to let InkSync continue to push forward. The second check claimed by that Booyah, and back the Tacticooler comes out, yet another pick, and that's going to just let the tower roll into that final checkpoint. They do go down, but they do have the juice, so they will be back in an instant. Sonaria doing their best to try and clear out this area. There could be members of InkSync around any corner. K coming in with that flank. Do you see them behind? K gets one pick, trying to move forward. The killer whales, a little bit too much to handle there, but nonetheless, InkSync still continuing to respawn. A pick coming out from AVU there, and InkSync has just been unstoppable this game.
There was a player up in that top left corner that had both the bucket and the Junior trying to dislodge him until they finally jumped out. I think it distracted them long enough for that flank to come around. It looks like Sonaria is going to be taking control of the tower and just trying to reset it back to the mid. They're still putting on a strong presence right now. It's just they're not allowing them to really get any footing at moving forward.
Yeah, finally Sonaria back on their feet. Hydra on the tower, yet another DC. This time from the side of InkSync. So what is going to happen here? I'm not sure, but either way, it seems like they're playing it. So I guess we're just going to continue going on. That's extremely unfortunate. The tower rolls into that second checkpoint. Hydra on the tower, the bubble over on that left side. They could get it set up for that third checkpoint if they don't stop it in time. The bubble ends up going down really far ahead in the base, and this is not looking good for InkSync. Since that DC, they've been stuck in their spawn. They haven't had any options to move. The Junior goes down, the tower rolls into that end. That is not what you love to see. Oh.
I suspect that is gonna count right there. It was about halfway through the match and already past the 50-point mark, so I don't know, but that was extremely unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, we saw DCs multiple times throughout this set. Extremely unfortunate, but yeah, it's just extremely unfortunate. It seems like it may not have been or it may have just been a net issue, unfortunately. But I know that people have been saying, oh, there's been so many DCs during during certain days. I feel like everyone is like, oh man, there's so many DCs during tournament days, and yeah, I'm wondering whether or not this is just internet issues or classic Splatoon issues. Super unfortunate. I think either team could have won that set. InkSync looked super strong at the start of that last game, and I think they may have had it. But nonetheless, props to Sonaria for sticking in there and clutching out game 2 and then taking game 3 there.
I was gonna say, I think we kind of jinxed them there. We were saying how much of a back and forth match we expected it to be, and then Inksing goes and takes out 2 checkpoints in a single push, and we're only stopped at the 30 mark on the last checkpoint. And then, of course, we had the DC happen, and Sonaria coming back and doing the exact same thing the opposite direction. So, if it were to be anything, it would be tower control.
Yeah. Man. Someday the DCs won't happen, but I think with so many people in the community, it's kind of inevitable to some extent. Too many internet issues just across the board. People are playing from all over the world, but still super unfortunate.
It is quite unfortunate, and when we do have tournament days, it's just the density it just spikes upward. Everyone's competing at the same time.
Yeah. What weapons have you been playing in Splatoon 3 so far?
I've been maintaining a steady 70% on my heavy splatling, but I have been picking up the splash shot and the bow on the side as well.
Ooh, nice. How are you liking splatlings in this game? I've heard mixed things.
You have the duality of a really great main weapon, especially with some of the tweaks and new abilities, but at the same time we only get the one kit. We're still in the early game. There's a limited option, so I really enjoy it. I think it's a really excellent kit, but it does lend itself to less flexibility.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. I mean, I think like whenever your weapon is whenever your weapon's gifted a sprinkler by Nintendo, it's kind of telling you you're on your own for a bit there. It does let you get that wave breaker pretty quickly, which is nice. But I can see what you mean.
How about you? What kind of weapons have you been picking up?
I've pretty much been playing. I've been playing Blaster, just like the vanilla one, and Splatana Stamper. They've both been a lot of fun so far.
Yes, those are some excellent picks as well.
Yeah, I think I've actually been. Well, those are what I've been mainly playing, but I have tried out Wiper recently, and Wiper has been pretty fun since. Well, they fixed Ultra Stamp. I've never been the biggest fan of Ultra Stamp, nor do I know how to use it very well. But it's a kind of weapon where it wants my brain to be like running at like 600% speed, and I don't know if my brain's there yet. I don't have the hamsters in my brain can't run that fast yet. They're a little bit out of shape. But it's been a lot of fun so far. The torpedo on it is it's pretty insane.
Yes,
I'd love to make it work. Sorry.
The poking ability certainly combos well with the up close nature of the Wiper, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Wiper, and both of the Splatanas getting torpedo and burst. Torpedo and burst bomb lets them kind of do some damage combo stuff, which is very neat, and I think really helpful to them. But I think they've both been given some specials that are difficult to use, So it's interesting. It's like, yeah, you have to learn the whole new weapon class, and then you have to learn learn how to play a special in the first place.
Exactly. It's just a whole lot to take in at once.
Absolutely.
We do have a bit of a wait before our next set. I think we'll go to a short break in the meantime. We will return to you with some more swimmer sync action in just a little while. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Sink or Swim. It is I, Mad Gamer II. I am joined once again by Fusion.
Hello, welcome back to Swimmer Sink. Round 2 of pools we've got for you. Marine Melody versus Intimidation Factor. Two pretty well-known teams yet again. And we'll be seeing what happens when these two teams go head-to-head on Rainmaker Mako Mart as the first first match, first game of this match. Excuse me.
I have to say, I've been playing Splattershot on Rainmaker a lot recently, and it is not quite as terrible as I initially thought it to be.
I've seen some pretty interesting discussions about how that Splattershot kit might end up being, you know, the kind of more supportive kit, similar to K-Shot. Was it, who was it that posted it? I think someone posted about that on Twitter. Either way, but yeah, Zuka lets you definitely enables you to get some nice picks on backline or kind of move them, similar to the way K-Shot did in Splat 2. I'm not entirely familiar with the weapons the teams have been playing recently in S3 here, but nonetheless, I think that this both teams will probably pull out some very aggressive play, maybe some shooters and quick popping weapons for this map.
Indeed. I have seen quite a few Splash-O-Matics and Slosher Machines, some vanilla chargers, but not quite as many juniors as you see in many of the other modes, just probably because of how much movement is required for the Rainmaker objective. It doesn't quite lend itself to the stationary bubble that you have with a junior.
Yeah, definitely. It can be a little bit tricky to get that bubble down in just the right place, but we do see, yep, actually, Luca is on that carbon roller, if I'm not mistaken from looking at that. We see the Tri-Slosher coming out, which I'm always a fan of. Buckets on both sides, and that flings for the missiles. Classic. Everybody loves those Tenta missiles. Intimidation Factor starting out very quickly with that instant pop on the middle of the map. Gonna net themselves a lot of paint and try and get stuff started early. The Bucket's going to try and be a nuisance over on that right side. Already getting a really nice pick onto that charger. That's gonna be huge from Scrub. Already locking down this right side, opening the way for the Rainmaker to possibly push up behind them, but they do end up getting shut down. Footman on that try does end up getting closer than they expect a little bit too quickly. But nonetheless, Intimidation Factor still maintaining a lot of control over on this left side of the map.
I just want to point out, on top of having a backlineless comp, Intimidation Factor is running a quad bomb weapon comp versus the dual bomb on the side of Marine Melody. They do have the Ink Mine and the Poison Mist, but only the two splat bombs from the Charger and the Junior, so this is going to be quite a bit of poking power for the side of Intimidation Factor, even though they don't have that anchor of any like a Splatling or a Charger.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Man, it's just been all gas coming out from Intimidation Factor. The shot able to get a very nice pick, almost gets yet another one on the Charger, trying to get a trick shot with that Zuka. Not quite able to find it. The Rainmaker still kind of sitting just up ahead. Finally gets grabbed and moved up just a little bit forward. Possibly could have gotten even more off of that, but Marine Melody finally slowing down their momentum and able to help them gain back control of the middle of the map.
Splattershot right there was getting watched by the Flings. It looks like it just swooped on them when they were least expected it. There's going to be a lot of cleanup over this side of the map here. Marine Melody is trying to push back into mid and regain some map control. They do have the NZAP down, but with the... I don't know if they popped their canisters just yet, but we will have quite the comeback, which is how fast their pop is moving so far.
Yeah, we've been kind of seeing that Flingza roller up on that left side, trying to just put some pressure out there. But three members in the same spot, that's going to get you Zuka. Very nice shots coming out there from Arwen. and that's going to let Intimidation Factor get back control of the map. Already, they're trying to get set up over on this left side. Arwen super far up, trying to get yet another pick, but you don't challenge a try to a 1v1. That's going to get them shut down there. But yet again, or actually, yes, a full wipe kind of come out on the side of Intimidation Factor. Some very nice stopping of Intimidation Factor's push there. Finally, the grab's going to come out on that Rainmaker. They're going to start getting points on the board. Marine Melody looks to get their momentum started over on the middle of the map. Anyone like Tri-Slosher?
But they are going to have to be careful going with that block. We saw twice now that's in like 2 or 3 down just from either a bomb or the Zuka, and we see the Slosher gain that triple right there. It has not been working out for them. It's just such a narrow choke point that can easily be shut down by an explosive device of some sort.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think an explosive device of some sort may not just be bombs. I think an explosive device of some sort may include Tri-Slosher. It's kind of the, oops, you weren't very precise, you're dead, kind of weapon. And that's exactly what happened. They didn't move fast enough, and that's why the Tri ended up taking all of them out. So yet again, Intimidation Factor's trying to keep control of the middle of the map, and that was a huge pick coming out. That Flings a Roller could have gotten the nice pick and the missiles coming out, but thankfully, the bucket, Scrub on that bucket, able to shut it down, and that's going to let Intimidation Factor continue to hold this lead. Marine Melody really just needs that check and a bit more, and that's going to be the lead for them. But so far, Intimidation Factor just smothering all of it.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to let the Tri get within range enough to do some damage. They are quite deadly up close. We'll see here, Intimidation Factor, only the Rainmaker remaining. They're just going to be trying to dodge and weave in mid here. The Charger are attempting to take them out, and they do. However, that did stall them out enough. They have 40 seconds remaining, and now the rest of the team is respawning.
Alrighty, so Flings a Roller able to get a really nice pick, and finally, actually a full wipe coming out onto Marine Melody. An Intimidation Factor looking to put extra points on the board, and that's exactly what they do. They bring it from that 34 all the way to a very strong 14, and now it's going to be extremely difficult as we head into overtime for Marine Melody to really take control here. All they need to do is let one person slip behind them, and that seems to be exactly what's happened. Someone seems to be close to the Rainmaker. They try and clear it out. They do manage to get a pick on the person by the Rainmaker, but multiple members going down to stray bombs as well as the Slosher, and that's going to be game 1 for Intimidation Factor.
I think not only did taking the Rainmaker that far in get some more points for them, but it just brought the Rainmaker so far back in their base, they had to basically double the amount of turf that they had to gain back with Intimidation Factor just sharking in the mid there. It was really well set up by Intimidation Factor for that victory at the end.
Yeah, I think, I think a lot of the time, Rainmaker overtime is very scary, because a lot of the time on Rainmaker, when you push forward, you're okay if the Rainmaker goes down as long as you get picks and continue to move forward. You know, as soon as you hit overtime, it's like super dangerous, because it doesn't really matter how many picks you get. You need to play protect the president, you know, around the Rainmaker. Keep it moving up with you. You can't let any one person get out of your sight. Since they had to push so far, they can't just make a run for it. It's super tricky, especially with when you got a zip casting Carbon Roller on the other team. It's a little bit tricky.
You just gotta account for every single member and every single drop of enemy ink, because you don't know where someone might be sharking ready to take out that Rainmaker.
Absolutely. I think like when you've got a really flexible comp, so no backline, with like what Intimidation Factor was running, it kind of makes it even harder, because, you know, when you've got like a Charger or something, you know they're going to be sitting pretty far back and you know to play around them, but it's very difficult to kind of watch all sides when you've got a backline-less comp. That's kind of one of the powerful things about it, is that they're very resilient. Even when one goes down, they can continue to do like the exact same thing. So
exactly. And I think we might be seeing a lot more of that. We're going to Clamplets on Hagglefish Market. This mode does lend itself to having a more stable comp, or I guess a more anchored center comp because you can set up around the basket and basically play keep away like you would with zones or even tower control. But at the same time, being able to move in and out as quickly as intimidation factor can will certainly come in handy.
Definitely. I think, you know, the kind of backline in this comp could be very strong here. Yet again, just because of the nature of this map, it's generally pretty quick to get from, you know, the middle of the map to the basket. But I guess it could also work the other way. You know, what options do they have to kind of dislodge the charger if they're sitting up on that tent canopy? You know, it can be really difficult, and it's going to probably make a big difference. Actually, the tent umbrella, a different kind of tent coming out, and a Hydra. I like the Hydra as well. The Hydra definitely going to provide a lot of spray fire in that middle of that map and make it even harder for them to get closer to the basket. So we'll see if Marine Melody can bounce back in game 2.
And reduce the intimidation factor, bring in a junior of their own. They are going to be wanting to have that bubbler on hand. That being said, the junior does go down in the first bout here. We see the tent umbrella just trying to stave off the enemy team, keep control of the mid, but they are slowly getting overwhelmed. Ingzuka, very well placed. They're going to be 3 down, just at 52 left.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was crazy. They were just on the back foot. All of a sudden, Zuka takes out 2 or 3 of them, and suddenly they have the opportunity to push here. Whale going to go straight through the tent shield and the vac, but yeah, that's not going to stop the push on its own, but it does give Marine Melody that time to move back into mid. The vac doesn't end up getting much done. It does keep them alive nonetheless, and a tent on mid is going to be very difficult to deal with. The bubble comes out to try and slow down the push, and yeah, both teams here still continuing to fight for mid despite going down multiple members in that push. Intimidation factor still looking strong here in the middle of the map.
There's just been a lot of backcourt just trying to poke, keep control of the clams, and so far they have the 1 power clam while Marine Melody hasn't been able to collect many, but they're slowly getting pushed out of mid from just the Booyah Bomb, and then also the Hydra and other bombs getting thrown at them. They're going to be trying to retake that mid now with this Zuka and the Ink Vac, but the Stingray coming out, taking down 2 members, and that's just going to set them back even further.
Oh yeah, Marine Melody looking pretty good here. The tent trying to get a sneaky pick, but they're not able to do it. No power clams on the board. They only have 6 in total, and that's not going to be enough for Marine Melody to push here. They really need to be looking to get those extra clams online before they get pushing. And because they don't end up grabbing any clams beforehand, they're going to end up giving up that entire side of the map yet again. So kind of unfortunate there. Really nice pick there from the bucket, though. Very nicely placed bomb. They're trying to get, yep. Oh my god, this Zuka this time on top of the canopy. Multiple members going down in combination with that. And, you know, kind of backing up there at the most awkward time. Lets people get set up. And Intimidation Factor doing a really good job getting back in quickly.
I think that was extra unfortunate for Marine Melody because they had all 4 of the specials online, and then just suddenly they were completely shut down by that 1 Zuka. And now Intimidation Factor is going to be opening up the first clam basket of the match. We see that bubbler right underneath the basket, getting them to 71, but that is going to be several members down, and so the Carbon... Oh wait, no, the Carbon's still up and kicking, trying to get some more clans in, but they do get finally taken out.
Yeah, and this is feeling pretty reminiscent of the Clan Blitz match we watched last set. Pretty low scoring on both sides. Hydra, unfortunately, does end up going down in the middle of the map there. Is that Arwin on the shot? Yeah, Arwin on the shot is continuing to do a lot of damage here. Intimidation Factor just being kind of infallible in their defense. And in Marine Melody's going to need to push up with their specials if they're going to want to get something done. 2 members of Intimidation Factor do end up going down as they potentially overextend, but this Zuka has been such an issue. Arwin, yet again, coming in clutch with that Zuka, and that's going to be really powerful at continuing Intimidation Factor's hold on the middle of the map. Marine Melody really needs to avoid that Zuka and be aware when it comes out if they want to continue moving in. But here comes the aggression into the Thunderdome. Arwen moves in and gets a very nice pick. 2 members going down, the Vac coming out, yet another push coming in from Intimidation Factor. Some more clams on the board this time. Finally, a bigger lead, and the score finally drops down below 50.
Dropped down indeed, but that's going to cost them a full wipeout right there. And so now Marine Melody, they have a chance to get some map control back and to retake the claims that they were so denied the last time. They're just going to have to watch out. Intimidating factor coming back already. Just carving a large path across that area. Ruibon is going to be popped here. Might be a little bit early. Don't have too many other specials online just yet, but that bucket is ready to go, and they have quite a bit of clamp. I don't know if it's just enough to get that lead yet.
Yeah, they still don't have that power clam online. They do have they do have a power clam online finally, and some good positioning, setting up one of the members actually getting on top of the canopy. That's a really important spot. It's the bucket that's huge, but unfortunately a really, really well-placed bomb coming out from that junior is going to shut it all down. They took their time, and that lets Zenola finally get that perfectly placed bomb and just stop them in their tracks. The pity clam is online, and they're gonna have one more shot at pushing here, but it's been all intimidation factor. 3 members going down onto Marine Melody. Scrub on the bucket, trying to move up, finish him off. The Hydra shuts it down, but there's not nearly enough time, and it looks like intimidation factor is going to take the set.
Yes, indeed it is. They have a couple seconds of overtime, and it's just not enough to get into the basket. So GG's to Intimidation Factor. It is going to be this game 2 to them, but it is a play all 3, so there is one more match in this set to be had, and that'll just give them some more points on the board later on. I just want to point out the junior got some nice picks right at the end, stopping out that push, but also, the bubbler they had set up right under their own basket is the dual purpose of that bubbler, but keeping enemies out as you're pushing, but keeping them from your own basket. Just so helpful and so powerful.
Definitely. And I think, I feel like there's a lot of situations where Marine Melody has the tools to deal with these kind of pushes. But they just weren't able to do it in that time. I think some unfortunate picks like the Hydra going down, like Hydra would do a ton of damage to that big bubbler, but unfortunately because they do end up going down, they weren't able to both shred the bubble and continue supporting their team there. So just kind of unfortunate timing, but also very strong placements on that bomb coming out from the other side on intimidation factor.
Indeed, and then we also have the Inkzuka, the MVP of that match, the silent killer. You really don't want to be in its sights when it gets activated, but it comes out so silently you don't know it's out until it hits you in the face.
So, oh my gosh, were you a Splat 1 player? Did you play Splat 1 at all?
I did indeed.
Oh man. I'm right. This happened, right? Zuka didn't have his noise was really, really quiet for a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Zuka in Splat 1 used to kill over walls because it was jank as heck. It was way laggier, and it was basically silent. And they had to patch it in where you could actually hear it. And in this game, you can still hear it, but it's like. It's the Mr. Incredible meme where you hear the noise, like the special popped noise, and it's like the people who know or people who don't know, and then people who know. And I just have so many problems dealing with Zuka from Splat 1. When I hear that sound, I'm like, I'm gonna go hide. It just kind of awakens that within me. And yeah. That's something that players are going to have to be aware of. It's like, don't go to your normal spots. Because that's been a problem. But that's actually an Explosher here. I love to see that onto Splat Zones. Extremely strong. Marine Melody actually coming out really powerfully with some nice picks at the start and getting set up on their first hold here in on Mahi Zones.
Explorer doing it. Such a good zone painter, but then there's a lot of places they can just reach without effort on this map as well. So, as I said, incredibly strong, but having been taken down there, Marine Melody still doing an excellent job of holding the zone right now. And we're going to see a water drop soon, and it does. Bomb's going to get popped out in an attempt to get that zone back, and they are almost able to. It does neutralize it, but just takes a little bit more effort to get back in.
Yeah, very nice push back in over coming out from Intimidation Factor. I believe with that Booyah Bomb, one of the members pushed in over onto that left side, and that enabled Intimidation Factor to get 2 picks onto Marine Melody. This is a map where spawn camping can really, really get bad. So I think, being able to rebound from that situation is huge. Already 2 members on Intimidation Factor going down. There's a third. Marine Melody able to bounce back and get back in. And I think that extra range coming out from the Explosher and that paint are very huge for getting back in against the backlineless comp that is coming out of Intimidation Factor.
Indeed, quite so. And of course they have the 52 and the Junior as well to back it up. Bubbler, bombs, and all sorts of other nifty tools for just slaying them out. There's going to be one member of Marine Melody down, but they still have 30 points already, and they are still in control of a lot of the map right now.
Man, I love this spot for Explosher. This reminds me of the Mako Mart spot on the stack. It's been extremely strong, and they've been unable to unlodge or dislodge this person on Marine Melody, the Explosher, from this spot the entire game so far. Finally pushing in over on that right side, and it looks like finally one of the members is able to take out the Explosher and get into their base. And with that Zuka from Arwen that's been so strong so far, this could potentially be really bad. This zones is very dangerous. You just need to be careful not to get wiped out like 2 times in a row. It could be extremely bad. Thankfully, they're not able to find anything this time, but 2 members nonetheless. 3 members end up going down on Marine Melody, and they're running out of time to get back into this map.
Yeah, with what the kind of comp that Intimidation Factor has been running here, and only 2x2 square space of home turf, there's not a whole lot of places to hide, and so they can really lock you in when they push up like that. There's going to require quite a few special combos just to push them out. They are able to stall the zone with that, but it is not quite enough. They already have the lead. They are able to apply that penalty.
Oh, thankfully for that. That rain coming in, I think, ended up being a huge deal and ended up pushing Intimidation Factor back. The Zuka coming out, not able to find anything this time. Oh, that awkward spot where you run out of paint with the Zuka. You have no option but to shoot your feet there. And yeah, Arwen being kind of suppressed this game so far, and I think Marine Melody has adapted to the way they've been playing the game. Already the timer ticking down, no penalty remaining. It's all going to be on whether Intimidation Factor is able to get in time. They just suddenly capped that zone here. That was extremely quick. That must have been that Booyah Bomb coming out. And yeah, well, as I say it, here we go. Arwen on that Zuka, able to get 2 very nice picks, but still, Marine Melody continuing to hold the zone. That Explo has just been, like, alive this entire time, and raining down paint on that zone. The comp coming out on the other side from Intimidation Factor is kind of lacking on paint, and they've just been able to kind of grab the zone in the nick of time. The Tink is continuing to count down, though, and multiple members go down, 3 members go down, and while they're trying to get those kills, Marine Melody comes in with constant paint, and they just play the long game and take that game. They do end up losing 2-1 in the set, but a very strong rebound in game 3 for them, and of course that's going to end up helping their placement if any tie breaks come up.
Absolutely. I was gonna say, like, there is nowhere to hide, nowhere to run from that Expo. It could just see and reach everywhere. It had such a dominant position on that zone, and with the amount of paint they were able to put out, that just allowed them to keep it, even with the Inkzuka and everything else getting thrown at them.
Absolutely. I think, it's kind of interesting. You see the dynamic of those 2 kind of team comps on zones. You've got comps that kill and comps that paint, and when you're playing a comp that kills, you kind of need to move extremely quickly, because as soon as you find yourself like wondering what to do, it's already too late. Mm-hmm. They basically were like, oh no, I don't know what to do, where do I push? And by the time they did that, their routes of getting in and escaping were already cut off. So a really nice rebound there, but of course Intimidation Factor coming out on top in the majority of those games, and looking extremely strong in the process.
I think this is a classic example of when an unstoppable force meets an unmovable object. It looks like the unstoppable force won out the first 2 times, but then in the very end there, the immovable object is held out.
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to kind of get back in, and zones in general is a super strange dynamic where you kind of like, there's no real pressure to get back in until you like fail getting back in once, you know? So it's like, you wonder whether you want to get back in as soon as possible, whether you want to get those specials to get back in, and I think both teams were kind of like trying to strike that balance, but it ended up kind of being that staying alive and helping your team just continuing to maintain that pressure in the middle of the map wasn't what ended up winning. There wasn't any singular huge push that ended up getting it, but more how the teams held down the middle of the map, or at least like their side of mid, that ended up determining how that went.
Yes, absolutely. Well, if there's nothing else to add, I do believe we have another little while before the next match. We may be going to another break soon, so sit tight and we'll be back soon enough.
Catch you guys in round 3.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Swimmer Sync. It is I, Mad Gamer the Second, and I am joined once again by Fusion.
Welcome back, everyone. Round 3 of Swimmer Sync is upon us, and this time we have Seaya versus Ink Pressure for you all.
We're going to be seeing them on the tower control of Mincemeat and Metalworks. I'm trying to remember if we've seen this combo yet today. I know I was...
We have not. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. We have not seen this quite yet. First time we are seeing Mincemeat today. I think Seaya has been playing, doing pretty well recently. Though I am not super familiar with Ink Pressure. So we'll see what Draco, Liam, John, and Frank can bring to the table here. TC Mincemeat. Sorry. Go ahead, go.
It's quite the motley crew we got going on right here. I would say it was a pickup, but they have quite an excellent profile picture.
Oh yeah.
I am not too familiar with either of these teams as well, so I don't know what kind of comps we're going to be seeing, but that makes it just more exciting.
What is their PFP? Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. That's a nice logo. It's like the Mario Sunshine blooper. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's always crazy when, like, man, 3 members on the team using what I presume to be, like, real names. That's crazy. Just coming in, and gonna get your butt kicked by John, Frank, and Liam. You know,
just clocking to work. another day for them. Yeah, but we are going to be getting started. We're going to be seeing what these teams can bring to the table. It is nice though. You can get a feeling of what they're going to be playing just by their badges.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can kind of see what's going on. Interesting comps actually coming out this time. I have not seen a comp like this before coming out. I guess similar to either side coming out before. Extremely low paints for Ink Pressure there, but I think it can definitely work. Hydra on one side, E-Leader on the other. But really nice pick coming out for members of Seaya. I like the combo with the Rapid and the Tri-Slosher, being able to apply that chip damage on Tower Control Mincemeat. I think those are some very strong picks here. The Zuka is ready and... excuse me, online. One nice pick. We saw a great Zuka set just a minute ago. Yet another one coming out. A really nice pick. Not able to survive that Ink Brush, though. The Whale does come online as well. And Frank already doing a lot of damage with that Ink Brush on tower control.
Is indeed an excellent start. They're already to that first checkpoint as well. So it's kind of just trying to poke around, try to stay alive. But there's going to be 3 members of Ink Pressure down, and they are able to get the checkpoint in the lead with their last remaining member.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, man, Bubble on Tower, crazy. I think Bubble on Tower, people pop Bubble on Tower a little bit too easily, but using it on checkpoints, that's huge. That's a extremely open checkpoint, very easy to get shot at, and they were able to kind of cruise through that with that bubbler there. So very nice on the side of Ink Pressure. Seaya still looking to bounce back in the middle of the map. They do have a person advantage, but that roller is going to make things difficult. The Charger able to get the pick as well and help them finish it off. That Ink Strike able to give Seaya that first checkpoint, and that's going to be a really big opportunity for them. 2 members go down onto Ink Pressure. This E-Leader has nowhere to go with this Toxic Mist. 2 Toxic Mists. What is this E-Leader going to do from this situation? Go down. That's what. The tower rolls into that second checkpoint. Hydra comes onto the tower, and multiple members of Seaya swarm into the base. Tower's rolling on into that final checkpoint. A huge push coming out from Seaya, but they do get off the tower in time. So that's going to slow down the momentum quite a bit, and that might spell the end of the push. So really unfortunate drop there, as the roller and multiple other members from Ink Pressure are going to rebound and help them gain back control of the map.
I am now just realizing that they're running both a brush and a roller in the comp.
Yeah.
That is not something I would expect, but it seems to be working for them.
You know, I think tower control just gives roller so much more flexibility, because there's just like a moving block that you can use, so you don't quite need as much paint. And wow, extremely big picks coming out on the side of Ink Pressure. Multiple members go down, and that bubble are able to help them get in there as well. The roller not able to find a pick. That would have been huge, but a very nice shutdown from that splatter shot there. The game's nearly tied at this point. 35, the tower rolls into a trade coming out as the machine Booyah is on the tower. They need a few more points to finally get back the lead. They get a trade, but that's not enough. Seaya hanging on to that lead. One member taken out by that rapid blaster. They shut down the roller after that trade, and finally looks like Seaya is stabilizing.
Just members dropping left and right. It's hard to tell what exactly is going on, but now is a bit of a reset. All members are coming back from spawn and kind of just trying to feel each other out as we get into this last minute and a half. Tower is pretty much reset to the mid area, but with 3 members of Ink Pressure down, that's going to be give Seaya opportunity to really push their lead, or at the very least put the tower on the Ink Pressure side of the map.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is definitely a map where rolling the tower a little bit forward of mid could be a huge opportunity. A very nice Zuka shot taking out Liam there, and that's going to open the way for the tower to roll into that final checkpoint yet again. The roller taken out from their sharking spot over there, and that's huge. The tower is going to be able to roll in a little further, but you're so close to the enemy spawn at this point, it's going to be very difficult to move it even further. Some pressure coming out. That Inkjet looks like it's about to recall. Not quite able to find the picks they need. Seaya's push is going to end up coming to a close here. And Ink Pressure has an opportunity. Only 40 seconds left in this match.
If they're able to hold on to this 40 seconds, can certainly be enough for that lead. They just need to cap the checkpoint and then some. But with the amount of aggression that we've been seeing out of Seaya, it's going to be difficult. We see 2 members coming from that left side, so that's going to have to make them watch out for that flank, especially when one of them is a roller.
Yeah, this tower rolling kind of uncontested over onto the right side. That should kind of clue you into how something's been happening. All of Seaya backing up to try and stop that tower at that checkpoint. The strikes come out, and that's going to slow down the tower. The tower, don't think there's anyone on it right now, and that's going to be the end of the game. They're not able to stay on the tower at that time. Booyah Bomb takes them off the tower and makes it extremely difficult to keep it rolling. So Seaya is going to manage to clutch it and hang on to that game.
Yeah, we did see the Booyah Bomb come out from both sides, but unfortunately the Tower Rider did go down and left their teammate hanging there. So Seaya is going to be able to keep that and take the first match of the set.
Yeah, I mean, those are some really interesting comps, and I think, there's some maps in the game that kind of enable you to play weird comps just because of their layout. People talk about like certain like bad maps, but I think some of these maps kind of enable a lot of interesting strategies, and I don't think we generally have had a quote-unquote bad map that's as small as Mincemeat before. I think it's so close quarters that there's a lot of strategies I think that can work there that we haven't seen as much. But on the complete opposite side, we've got Rainmaker Museum. The middle of this map is very open and pretty difficult to get through. There is a little ramp so you can hide a bit, but this is kind of going to be a change of pace, and I don't know if we're going to be seeing the Roller Brush E-Leader coming out yet again for Ink Pressure.
Well, it is going to be Rainmaker, so you never do know. It is going to be quite interesting because it is quite the opposite type of map from what we just saw. But I imagine there will be some of the same. Perhaps the brush, perhaps the roller will stay. Most likely E-Leader will be. I haven't found too many teams to swap off of the backline when they have it in their arsenal.
Absolutely. Honestly, I think this map is honestly, it's weird because I feel like this map is so strange on both Rainmaker and Tower. It's like, oh man, the Rainmaker and Tower is so far from your spawn, but then right in the middle of the Rainmaker Tower path, there's just this freaking huge block spinner thing that slows down the pushes so much that it kind of makes it okay. And Yeah, I think there's also the really interesting dynamic where you can kind of run it to the middle of the map or jump it towards the pedestal and get a checkpoint really quick. So no backline comp coming out from Ink Pressure this time. We do see the, coming out from Ink Pressure, we have the Brush and the Tetra is really interesting pick. I think that'll be a great one on Rainmaker already. The Splash doing some work over on that left side, getting a nice pick. The Tetra trying to come into support, but they're able to back up. And just like I said, they jumped it from mid to that checkpoint, and they got it so quickly. Just getting that early checkpoint. It doesn't matter how you get it. It doesn't matter if your push ends when you get it. Getting that checkpoint and then getting it set up for future pushes is so huge on Rainmaker.
I think in addition to that, this is one of the few maps that only has the one checkpoint option. There isn't a second route. Is one way to go.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's kind of interesting how this map kind of works for it, because even though it seems really difficult to get into the top, the layout just helps you get ready for it. Already a really nice pick coming out from Seaya, able to kind of stop the momentum of Ink Pressure. With that checkpoint down, they need to be very careful about who they let onto the plat. Tetra being a nuisance, the Rainmaker coming out. See the way they can hit those shots onto it from mid, make it really difficult. The Tetra reef slides in behind them, a very nice pick coming over that spinner, getting it just in the nick of time from Seaya there. And that's going to be huge. 2 more members going down, and the Tetra, oh no! As I say that, it looks like Draco on that Tetra is able to get 2 nice picks. They have a shot with the Zuko waiting for it. Where are they? Are they going to be able to slow it down in time? The mist comes out, but not before the Rainmaker rolls it all the way to 28. That's a really solid push coming out, and Seaya has yet to break this checkpoint even.
I think once they get it past that little brown area where the spinner is, that really gets into the real choke point, and so it'll be incredibly difficult for them to come back from that. It's still on quite the edge, so it's still possible, but in the meantime they do have to get that checkpoint still.
Yeah, absolutely. Seaya already trying to get set up on this right side. They seem to be ready to grab the Rainmaker, but they did. It seems like they were a little unsure about who they wanted to grab it, and because of that, they end up going back and kind of going down to that Tetra. The Tetra came in before they're ready, but thankfully, the Tri-Slosher coming out there is going to be able to, make up for that, and that will be huge. Already, the trades seem to be going slightly in favor of Seaya here, and this could be an opportunity for them. Inkjet getting ready to come over that left side in combination with that, with the Azuka. That could be huge, but unfortunately, that Shark for so long is going to make it even harder for their team to defend themselves in mid. Ink Pressure has just been all on the aggression here and been moving so quickly. It's really impressive.
With the Brush so far into the base, I think be able to, they're going to attempt to further that point total, but not quite able. 2 members are going to be going down. That being said, the Tetras here still alive in mid, allowing for a nice jump for their teammates, and so that's just going to allow them to get back in the defensive just as quickly as you were mentioning before. Still, Seaya hasn't been able to get the Rainmaker out of mid so far, still at a 99 point total. They really need to coordinate some sort of offensive here in order to get some points on the board.
Yeah, and they seem to be trying to do that, but unfortunately, they move ahead, but the Rainmaker goes down behind them. It looked like one of the members of Ink Pressure managed to sneak in through mid, and we've just been seeing in this match how quickly Ink Pressure moves. As soon as the Rainmaker goes down, multiple members are ready and pushing up ahead of it. It's been happening so quickly, and they've already got the Rainmaker moved up here. They opt for a more kind of conservative strategy here as they try and take the Rainmaker a little bit slower towards that right side. As they have the lead, they don't need to do anything about it. They just kind of want to take a nice slow push, keep themselves in advantage, and Rainmaker falling off the map there at not too bad, honestly, because they were in a really awkward position to begin with. Trades going even on both sides. Seaya needs to really get in at this opportunity, but Ink Pressure has been unrelenting this game.
Yeah, we did see Ink Pressure there taking that Rainmaker over that corner, playing it slow as you mentioned before. And that's really the key defensive maneuver to do with the Rainmaker is you want to find a corner where you're not going to be so easily flanked or pinchered. Because especially for this map, we got that far out alleyway that they can drop from. Holding it in the mid is not necessarily the safest solution, so taking over that corner really stalls them for time. And now, Seaya, they're going to try to make something down, but they're getting really close to the end of the match here.
Oh man, we could see again the Tetras has just been feasting on the Rainmaker. They take their time, and the Tetra is just like, "Hello, how are you?" and gets the kill before they're even able to breathe. And you know, just the quick decision making and quick play coming out from Ink Pressure was huge that match. They were able to get that checkpoint early, keep the Rainmaker moving, get it out of their base super quick, and most importantly, they were able to shut down Seiya's attempts.
I also want to point out that they, once again, both of these teams made me eat my words. They, Seaya, they swapped off of that E-leader and went for the double shot combo, and I think the long range they had was that Rapid Blaster, so I don't know, kudos for them. They definitely brought a more aggressive comp, but I think Ink Pressure definitely had it down to a science by that point, with the Tetras just really spearheading their maneuvers against them.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering if this is kind of their main weapons, and E-Later is just kind of like a comfort pick for Mincemeat, because Mincemeat is such an awkward map to begin with. They're like, oh, we need range, maybe. But nonetheless, they seem strong on both of them. Both weapons either way.
Oh, I suppose this next one will be the deciding factor. We have Clam Blitz on Inkblot, another mode that requires a good bit of movement and aggression, but with how small of an area it is between the two baskets for Inkblot, I would imagine E-Litter would not be a bad pick for this either.
Yeah, absolutely. With them having moved back the basket from Splat 2, you can no longer throw in those clams from the ramp. You got to push in a little bit further. Not too many cheesy ways to get the Rainmaker, or sorry, get the clam basket in. Sorry, get the clam into the basket on this one. A very kind of even Steven map. No weapon seems to be too crazy strong here. There's no crazy bubble blower stuff like there was in Splat 2 to kind of nuke people, but weapons like Tetra could still do a lot of work. Reslider on the plat is very dangerous in a way that it isn't on a lot of other maps. So hopefully we'll see the aggression continue to keep up from Ink Pressure here, as we do see actually. Yeah, we see those Tetras coming out yet again. And on the other side, they opt for no backline either. They bring out an Ink Brush of their own. And we've got Ink Brush Junior, Killer Whale, and Splat Bomb battles coming out here in the middle of the map.
I was about to... I wanted to... Yeah, I was going to be surprised if we did not see a Junior, but I just didn't want to jinx it again. But the Ink Brush pick is certainly a good pick, if not surprising. You can definitely get a good amount of movement going, especially for this particular map. And already we see that basket getting opened.
Yeah, just look at the speed that Ink Pressure has been coming out with. I don't know what happened game 1, but as soon as game 2 started, they've been, oh my god, they've been like so fast and just quick on their feet. They've been, you know, kind of pushing up, you know, before the camera even went to the person view. One of the members, I think the brush had like 6 clams. And oh my goodness, the Ink Brush able to get in so quickly. Really great job coming out, a quick early push, not just one clam, getting it all the way down to 68, so it's going to take 2 power clams in order for Seaya to take back that lead. And still, the trade's going in Ink Pressure's way as multiple members of Ink Pressure try and clear out this left side of the plat and hopefully get a crab tank set up. Frank on that on the brush is trying to get in with those power clams, but is not able to get it there. So this push seems to be kind of dead in its tracks. They do end up getting the power clam in. My god, how did they end up getting that in? That must have been off of a super jump in, and because of that, they're going to end up getting a whole lot more potentially. Okay, the basket just barely closes in time, but Ink Pressure had multiple members there ready to get back in, so saved by the bell a little bit.
Yeah, that crab tank right on the doorstep just... It made it rather difficult for them to pressure them out, and allowed one of their members of Ink Pressure to come in behind them and just chuck it in. But they still had the defensive maneuvers to keep them out for a little bit longer. We're already seeing the basket open and the point total lowered once again, down to 54, and they are not stopping.
Yeah, I mean, Seaya has just been on their back foot the entire game. They're going to need to find a way to deal with this. They have multiple power clams online, and they kind of just need to find a way in. I think, they have the tools to do it. As they say that, multiple members end up going down. The Inkjet trying to clear off this Plaid here, but it looks like, just barely the Inkjet recalls before they're able to take them out. That's going to keep them alive. The bubble keeps up aggressively. One power clam comes in. The second one not quite able to get in time. The Crab Tank and multiple members are going to be able to shut down that bubble. One power clam seems like it's going to be it for that push. That could have been so much worse, but a good first opportunity from Seaya there. Still need 2 power clams, though, to take back that lead.
We haven't seen quite a bit of bubbler plays from Ink Pressure so far, but the Crab Tank has certainly been putting in the work here, with the Splash doing a pseudo support role here, just allowing them to support their teammates and put out a lot of paint and aggression at the same time. Seaya opening up the basket for the first time, getting it down to 70, but they do get shut out by Ink Pressure here, and they're going to be supplied with another power clam in their possession here, getting that pity clam ready, and they are already moving towards Seaya's basket.
One power clam comes in, the super jump comes in. That will be the second, more than likely. No, it does end up missing. That is going to be huge. It ends up landing on that top level there, so they're going to be unable to recover it at this point. The Splash does manage to get a pick. The basket is going to get shut down there. 2 very nice picks coming out from that Splash-O-Matic, and Ink Pressure, despite that, is going to still maintain so much control on that map. Extremely nice plays coming out, and with 1 minute just left, Seaya is going to need to get a real good push in. They're going to need to get a push in, not just with 1 super jump. They're going to need to clear out that area, which they've kind of struggled to do so far this match. But yet again, this Splash-O-Matic just eyes on the map, able to keep an eye out on that right side and stop a dangerous flank from happening. And this Crab Tank going to be continuing to shut down the pressure coming out from Seaya. Another nice pick. Seaya is just having so much trouble getting in, and Ink Pressure is doing such a good job smothering it.
Between the burst bomb and the Crab Tank, they're not able to secure either of the 2 stacks right here, and that's one of the main, I guess, I can't think of the word, but staging points for any particular push. You got the vantage point and the bombs just thrown to the enemy plant, but they're just shutting it down before it even begins. They do have a fair amount of clams in their possession, but with 10 seconds remaining, it is going to be getting rather scary for them here.
Yeah, they're going to be trying to get a good pick with that Zuka. Not able to find it in this situation. There's one over on that right side, but seems like there's actually 2. While they're focusing that, 1 member on the other side of the map does end up going down. Seaya needs to get in with this whale. They're not going to be able to get in just in time, and the timer ticking down. They need to touch the basket, they need to touch the clam and get it into the basket, but they're not going to be able to get through Ink Pressure and that Crab Tank. Crazy. You can kind of see like very similar comps coming out from both sides. You can kind of see the difference in how they played. Ink Pressure was just all on the offensive. Seaya didn't know what to do. That was a really good set.
Yeah, Seaya was just completely overwhelmed there. They had some decent pushes. They had some nice comebacks, but it was just a little too little too late, I think.
Yeah, I think like they were not ready for the kind of style that Ink Pressure was putting out. I think, they're kind of they seem to be kind of used to playing like a very, play patient, wait for those specials, then push in like together. And Ink Pressure was just moving so quickly that they did end up getting singled out. And, often that's just kind of a style that can catch you off guard. They were not ready for it game 2. I feel like they could have adapted for it game 3. They adapted their comp, but unfortunately, they were still just not ready for it. They didn't know how to get in against it. And, Ink Pressure just was able to sweep them off their feet.
I think you make a good point there. Seaya, they were definitely playing more to a checklist style game. I think that's why they excel so much on tower control. They were able to take each checkpoint one at a time, but you get Rainmaker, when you get Clam Blitz, you have Ink Pressure here. They came in, they're pushing, they're opening the basket, putting on the pressure, and they're collecting clams over and over and over again. They're doing multiple steps at a time, and they were able to do several consecutive pushes in a row because of that. They always had clams in their possession and specials ready to go.
Yeah, great stuff from both teams there. After the first game, I wasn't so sure how Ink Pressure would fare, but they've proved me wrong. They really showed a lot of potential there with their aggressive play, and they pulled through. You want to take a quick look at the bracket, see who's going to be making it into a Great White bracket?
That is an excellent idea. It looks like... Let's see. I'm trying to interpret what I'm seeing here. I believe...
Let's see. From that group, it looks like Ink Pressure will be going on to Hammerhead bracket, the second bracket, and let's see. And Seaya will be going down to the third bracket, so that's Lantern. No, that's Mako. Excuse me. Yeah. So for the teams that are making it out, that seem to be making it out to Great White bracket, it seems like we've got I Do Not Know, Good Morning, CVS, Next Time, Mictlan Heroes, Rising Wave, Icebreakers, Femboy, Garfield. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's the group that Ink Pressure and Seaya are in. So Femboy Garfield did end up taking out both of them. Even tied, and let's see, Nawal Gaming, a lot of familiar names. Under the Weather, Fish Emoji. I'm curious who that is. I'll go back and see it. A Salt and Pepper. Ooh, a Salt and Pepper coming out and making a Great White bracket. Assembled separately, Sequoia. Cool to see Sequoia doing well. And we've got Kissing Emoji taking out In Control Red Sun. Let's see.
Look at there's been a quite a few emojis coming out and playing today, it seems.
Yeah, who's the kissing emoji? Oh my goodness. It's the kissing emoji is Cappy Wappy, Sparrow, Stan, and Kayora. I'm not super familiar with them, but they did take out Red Sun, so props to them for that. Who have we got with the fish emoji?
They certainly have the craziest profile.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yes you are. You're right. That is something. Prophet, Pelu, Ping, and Evan. Interesting. I'm wondering if that's I assume it's Ascension Evan. But
perhaps.
Still a lot of strong teams. Several previous SOS champions coming back to Great White this time. Some unfamiliar faces, a lot of familiar ones, and yeah, some we didn't end up seeing any of the. We ended up seeing a lot of the teams that did not end up making it to Great White bracket in groups this time. So stay tuned if you want to. Stay tuned if you want to see all the teams that made Great White bracket. And I think that will be about it for our block. So, where can people find you, Mad Gamer the Second?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at MadGamerII. I do quite a bit of the Splatoon content, and certainly trying to do some more of the YouTube side recently. But where can the good people find you?
Okay, so actually, we've been lied to. We've been bamboozled and smeckledorfed. So we're actually going to be staying on one more round. Whoopsies.
Well, you can still go ahead and shout yourself out before we move on to our break.
All right. We'll take a quick break, but yeah. You can find me at 8bitfusion_ or Fusion Splatoon on YouTube. We'll be right back with Great White in just a few minutes.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the great white bracket of Swimmer Sync. It is I, Mad Gamer II, and once again, I am joined by Fusion.
Hello, we are back with round one of Great White Brackets. This will be our last round of commentary. Not lying this time, my bad. But we do have an exciting match for you guys. We have Icebreakers and versus Nawal Gaming. Nawal Gaming, of course, being repeated like top contenders in SOS. Chomper, Nero, Levi, Robin, and Eisen versus Icebreakers. Some familiar faces, but I don't know if these people play together regularly. I have not been following them individually. Candy, Logan, Izukabi, and KM. You familiar with these players at all, by any chance?
I recognize some of the names, but I'm not quite sure their particular playstyles or what teams they usually play on.
Well, either way, both of these teams definitely strong for making it here. We've got Splat Zones on Scorch Gorge, really probably a polarizing map, but of course, Nawal gonna come out very strong here. E-liter duels on both sides. We've got the scope on one side, not on the other. Maybe that range will make a difference, maybe it won't, but the battle will be decided based on who can deal with this area on the top mid the best.
I was just talking with someone earlier today. This is one of the largest, probably the second largest compared to, what was it? Eeltail Alley as far as zone sizes goes. So getting that to flip is going to be rather difficult. But with 3 members on Icebreakers down, it is not too difficult for Narwhal to take this first zone control.
Yeah, Nawal with this first setup here, they drop down that bubble on the zone, but they only have the Booyah left to stall. But that's not going to stop them already taking out 2 members of Icebreakers and trying to get set up here. Looks like that E-leader is set up on the high ground. That'll make it super hard for them to get in this situation. And look, in the base. Yeah, oh my goodness, they're pushed up so aggressively. But will that come back to bite them is the question.
Once again, they still have the E-leader to holding down that mid area, but with pretty much just stalling them out, pushed up so far. Now it's just a duel over the right side. 20 points down and 2 members down as well. They might be able to get this stall if they're able to. Another member going in and losing to the dualies, and this is going to be the zone flip they need for Icebreakers.
Oh my goodness, that was like 3 members all coming to that side of the map and fighting Logan on those Squelchies. Logan teaming up with another member of Icebreakers, able to come out on top. But, you know, while that was all going on, the timer is ticking down, and I was just like, oh my goodness, are they going to cap it? Are they going to cap it? They do manage to cap it in time, and now the pressure's on the wall. 1 member going down, the Wavebreaker and Booyah going to dislodge Icebreakers, not take too many members out, but it's going to clear out the zone for sure. Logan on those Squelchies, very maneuverable, but the question is whether they're going to be able to outmaneuver the entirety of Nawal here and deal with multiple specials. Logan, oh my goodness, right in the middle of the action, somehow weaving between Crab Tank and a whole bunch of other stuff, and staying alive in that situation. The double Wavebreaker going to come out, not able to take out members of Nawal, but still able to do a lot of work, actually. I think that double Wavebreaker actually ended up being pretty important for taking back the zone there.
I would say so. That was a complete wipeout right there. Now Icebreakers have a chance to do what Narwhal was doing to them, get into their base and just hold them back. But that being said, Narwhal is coming back with a vengeance, already taking a member down in a trade here, and we have several specials ticking up and getting ready to come online. Icebreakers, they got no penalty to work through, but they still have quite a point total in order to get to that lead. Ooh, 2 members of Nawal going down. This is not good. They're already down to 30 points.
Yeah, that's huge, actually. With those multiple members going down, they're going to have to wait. They end up waiting out a little bit for the zone. The bubble dropped in a really defensive position, just barely able to neutralize the zone. The whale coming out at the same time as the Crab Tank, barely going to be able to recap that zone. They do get 2 members, 3 members of Icebreakers down, but huge penalties on both sides. They're going to have plenty of time to get back in, but actually KM managing to survive that whole ordeal, and with this being a shot, that's going to be really hard for them to take out. So the Zuka coming out from here, not able to find a pick there, but just being such a huge nuisance. And that's going to enable them to get that trade there. And because of like that stall, everyone was focused on that side of the map. Icebreakers coming back in, trying to recap that zone, but that was a huge pick from that E-Litter. I didn't quite get to it in time. Barely going to be able to recap in time. My goodness, the penalty was almost gone, and that could have been game for Nawal. Thankfully, coming in just the nick of time.
Indeed, that was such a clutch play right there, retaking the zone, but it flips almost immediately back to Nawal's favor. This has certainly been going back and forth as we're getting down to this last minute. There's still twice as many points to go through for Icebreakers, but with just as much penalty, it is going to be rather difficult for them to push back in.
Yeah, timer's ticking down. Only 10 seconds left on the penalty. Nawal's playing really far back. The Crab tank on top mid. That's huge, but that Zuka getting one nice pick. The Crab is going to run out. They fall right onto a splash wall, and that gets them killed. And that looks like the zone's going to flip back the other direction. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, but it's still neutral. It's still neutral. Okay, they get one more pick, but still, they're all on one side of the zone. They need to take back the other if they want to get back control. They do. Oh my goodness, that guy just like fell onto a splash wall. What?
I can't tell if his crab tank broke yet or not, but it's just like instant death for him. It's like when you land the wrong way on the fence.
Oh god. Right between the legs. Oh my goodness. And now the Icebreakers are the ones who are trying to get back the zone there. That's still a very neutral situation. They need to cap it here. But no, Nawal manages to hang on in that situation. Still never going fully down. Never going fully down near that situation at the end there. And that's going to enable them to take back that zone and clutch out game one. Huge win for them.
That last the fighting over the zone at that last point where it was just stuck in neutral, it just reminded me of that one the one scene from Pink Panther where they're going around the pole just painting over each other around and around.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was funny.
But dang, yeah, Nawal Gaming coming out on top in this first match here. It is a best of 3, so this is going to be match point for this set for Nawal Gaming.
Yeah, so already with this just being a best of 3 situation, I mean, this is a with this being a 64 team bracket now, Great White bracket is, or so yeah, 64 team tournament in the first place. Great White is actually 16 teams now, so we've got plenty of rounds going into going to the final. We've got 3 rounds and finals, single elim, so it's going to be huge. A lot rides on this game. If Icebreakers wants to stay in contention, they're going to need to win this game on Undertow Spillway, TC.
I'm trying to think. We have not seen this map mode in play yet today either, have we?
We did not. Well,
we did see zones.
We saw.
So...
No, we did see this. Or no, we didn't see this. Wait. Oh my god. No, we saw zones here. Yeah. Not too many rounds in the tournament up to this point, so we haven't gotten any repeats quite yet. But we may see some starting going into the next few rounds.
Yes. So both of these teams were opting for that E-Leader backline with several aggressive plays to go for. Once again, expecting the junior to make a return for that bubbler on tower. But overall, I don't know whether we'll be seeing, because the wall they held out that zone all the way down to 20 or 10 points in a single push pretty much. With tower control being such a snowbally map or mode, I can see that happening again, but just the different map might change things up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, with Logan being very evasive on those squelchies, I think that could have been a very strong pick on Scorch Gorge, but I'm wondering if they're going to stick with it here, or perhaps bring out something a little bit different. Nawal adding an extra machine instead of that E-Later. We see, nope, 3 shooters coming out on the other side as well. Icebreakers opting to, classic tried and true vanilla Splatoon with that E-liter for a little bit of flavor. Whereas we have the very spicy, mildly spicy double machine on the other side.
Already 2 members of Icebreakers are down, which the E-liter trying to defend that first checkpoint. They're going to have to jump out and let them take it.
Yeah,
So
and... Yeah.
it's not a huge point total, just like a 1 step forward and then you're there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is such a weird map. The first checkpoint is like right at the beginning, like near in the middle of the map. But you can see that bubble just gave them that second checkpoint. This E-liter in a really awkward spot of the map. They managed to get caught out really far away from it because they moved all the way over to that right side and were greeted by a bubble. They just were not able to get there in time. The crab tank now coming out on tower. The tower rolls into 15-point marker. Where are all the members of Icebreakers? They're not able to get there in time. 2 members on the tower. They managed to take out 1. The tower rolls all the way to 2 before they're able to clear it out. 1 member of Nawal Gaming is left alive in mid. The E-liter does manage to take them out in time. Kabi cleaning it up, but Icebreakers have got their work cut out from them. They've got a big push ahead, and that's not looking good. 3 members taken out by the Splash-O-Matic, and that's a full quad coming out there for Nero. My goodness, Nawal Gaming has just been all on the aggressive this game. They've just been getting pick after pick after pick, and Nero over on this Splash-O-Matic has had the crab tank at the right moments repeatedly, in addition to getting multiple picks there on that defense.
And now that they've cleared pretty much all the checkpoints, there's nothing standing between them in that KO except perhaps Icebreakers and their volley of fury. They're really going to have to clutch up once again, and they do take out the 3 members to stall that tower out. But now they're going to have to bring the tower back and get those points in their own side. Still, stopping them at 2, like if we thought the last game was clutch stopping them there, this was even more so. But now once again the E-liter is one of the few remaining, and they're going to have to back up before they're even to pick up that first checkpoint.
Yeah, I'm hoping the E-liter, does end up playing around here a little bit more, because it feels like every time they try and get onto the tower, it's already like a situation that's already, kind of taken a turn for the worse. See, multiple members of Icebreakers keep going down super early. Really nice pick. That could help them rebound there. The Booyah Bomb probably going to target Kabi over here on this middle of the map. But what's going to make the big plays happen for Icebreakers is whether they're able to get those picks over on that left side without going down. That could be huge. But yeah, we can see one of the members of Icebreakers trying to do that on the left side. The Wavebreaker and E-liter are going to help out with that huge pick coming out there from that 52 gal. They unfortunately do end up going down to multiple machines. Oh my goodness, but both of those machines do end up going down in turn. That seems like it's going to be the first checkpoint for Icebreakers. Finally, the start of a comeback potentially, but not if Nero has anything to say about it. They've just been up in their faces the entire time. 2 picks coming in for a third. The last one's going to run away from them in just the nick of time, but with that first checkpoint broken at least, pushes can get started a little bit quicker.
I can see why that they were they were called the Icebreakers and not the checkpoint breakers. They are still having trouble getting past up to that second checkpoint with the sheer amount of aggression coming out from Nawal Gaming here. I have to say, I think having the double bucket versus the all shooter comp on with this particular terrain is really throwing a wrench in their plans. There's just so many angles that the bucket can get at those shooters from safely without them being able to really put on too much in return.
Nice snipe there onto Chomper. That's a big opportunity for them. Oh my goodness, just barely skirting around that edge of the Booyah Bomb. They really kind of need to play the picks from the distance with their bombs in order to avoid close range versus versus those machines, and they get 3 picks. That is huge. They're rolling into that second checkpoint. No members of Nawal Gaming ready to contest it. They need to get through the check before the Booyah Bombs come online. With overtime coming up, they need to be very careful of it. If they roll the tower super quickly from here, they'll be able to get it in time, but unfortunately, before that Wavebreaker and Splash Wall come out, they do end up going 2 down, and now 3 down situation. All that's left is the Zap. They're going to be taken out as well. Nawal Gaming cleaning up the map, and it doesn't look like anything, there's going to be anything that Icebreakers is going to be able to do about it.
Yeah, we have the final Booyah Bomb on top of the cake right there, just solidifying that victory for Nawal Gaming. They're going to be moving on in the bracket of Great White, and unfortunately this will be game, set, match for Icebreakers.
Look at that map. Just look at that map and tell me if you can tell what side of the map belongs to orange. If you just didn't see like the the actual spot where they spawned, you can't tell. The entire map is Nawal's color.
They just claimed it all for themselves. Like, you know what? That your side looks nice. We're gonna have that too.
Yeah, it's crazy. Nawal all on the offensive there, and they'll end up taking that first set.
I think we had a similar situation that we saw in the last set of, I think, Ink Pressure versus, can't remember, but it was a similar situation. What was that?
Yeah, Ink Pressure versus Seaya.
Yeah, it was a full frontline comp. Well, they did end up swapping the full frontline as well, but it's just they played on their aggression so much, it just did not allow Icebreakers to really set up. They had nowhere to be. They just constantly went down before they can make their move.
Yeah, they definitely had some trouble getting in against the aggression that Nawal was putting on the table. But I mean, they kind of pulled it together to on that last push. They got the picks they needed without kind of trickling into the machines, which was what was happening a little bit earlier in there. But unfortunately, those machines very good at stopping the tower, especially with those Booyah bombs and those fizzy bombs. Eolator, great option for countering that, but unfortunately, with the timer ticking down, they kind of needed to make like unoptimal plays and ended up panicking. So nice job there. Nawal ended up putting themselves in a position where they had so much map control, they were just able to kind of get back in, at will.
Exactly. Well, that was an excellent first match, but unfortunately that is going to be the end of our participation at this point in time. This is the actual last block for us, so we'll be handing it off to our next set of commentators after a short break. Would you like to enlighten the people where to find you once again?
Sure, let's do that. For real this time. I'm Fusion. You can find me at 8bitfusion_ on Twitter, or Fusion Splatoon on YouTube. Where can they find you?
You can find me on the Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at AdMadGamerII. And once again, I do a lot of the Splatoon content. But thank you all for hanging out for us, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And we'll have more for you soon.
Stay tuned. We have, I believe, Bowser and Genie coming in to finish off SOS. Stay tuned.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Swim or Sink 87. I got some sinus problems right now, so excuse my voice. My name is Bowser. I'm here with Genie, and we're running straight into our first match right now.
Running indeed, we will be Clam Blitz on Undertow Spillway, a fun and unique map with twists and turns all around. And if you have a big bubbler and some spot bombs, you always have a good time here.
Yeah, see, I'm one of the few people that adore this map, and I always get flack from chat. That's
You and
okay.
me.
I expect it. It's fine. I love you guys, but I love the chaos of this match. And let's get into it right now. Clam Blitz, of course, is a very spooky map here because you have to win more than a few fights to really score. And you can get some really oppressive holds on the enemy and score a ton if you end up making it in.
Control of this main center platform where that green pillow is crucial. Glass is awesome and everything to help fight for that pillow, but you need to control this main bridge. And so far, Mictlan's doing that to perfection at the moment. Booyah Bomb coming out, Power Clam at 30, really close to an ink back. Things are looking up for them, and that's already a basket break.
Yep, points can be scored now. Finally, they do have some claims ready. Here comes the ink fact. They're going to use that to set up and get some points in. It looks like that's a 74. Looking good right now. Definitely a nice start, and nothing that can't be clapped back pretty quickly. But again, this map, you got to win more than a few fights in order to get into that position to score. So we're going to see if next time's going to be able to make that happen.
They shut down the Inkzuka before it can get any more than one single shot off. Nautilus plus that Slosher gives us a unique Tri-Strike plus Inkstorm combo. A combination that is really good at clearing out underneath the basket. But how well can it hold the basket they need? That chip damage is coming in onto the members of one-shot Mictlan. Ooh, it doesn't get enough space for next time. The members have been traded both back and forth, but next time needs more clams.
Oh man, that's 2 then 3 down. Only 2 people up right now on that side of the base, trying to drop some ink and get some spacing down. Next time, able to really start bringing on the pressure. This is the key part, though. This is that second fight you have to win, and there does look like there's a flank coming in from the sniper's perch right now. Let's see if they have an eye on that. They do. I see some ink storms coming down. Gonna stop that.
Tri-Strikes. They have to watch out. That ink back is shutting them down. It's going to hold them back. 2 members traded from either team. Make that 3 down for next time. Just the Nautilus, and they are back. Shockwave holding back, watching out for that Trizuka. They do not want to go down in this scenario. That would give up all of mid in control of Mictlan inside.
Yeah, that'll at least let your team redeploy and get back in the... Oh, ooh. Yeah,
Who was it that just came in and got 2? I think they got... No, they didn't get a 3rd. That was just a respawn. But that allows next time to really have a next push.
And they're able to do it again. I mean, they scored a little bit, so as long as they can get one more power clam, just a few clams in, that'll flip the pressure right back onto Team Yellow right now. And that can be hard, and again, that big dumb marker telling you have a power clam. No, wait, they stuck it in.
No, yeah, next time got it in. They're the ones that got the power climb in before Mictlan can sneak it behind them. One shot does find some shots down. Shockwave is going in. Shockwave says no more. This is ours. I don't believe they're going to be able to get these last little claims in. No. 55 is good. And they prevented a push from Mictlan. They were just trying to sneak it down mid.
Yeah, Mictlan, that's the right idea, right? Try to sneak something and reverse the pressure, get them off of you, but next time, really capitalize on that, and again, flipping that pressure, and now it's up to Mictlan. They're going to be the ones that have to now win multiple fights in a row to get through, and no specials on deck, and picks going down like that. You don't want to be dying on your side of the map like that. That's great for next time, though, who's already gearing up for another push right now.
Yeah, Misa would love to just continuously do that. That's a great way to stall out your team. Just keep trading and keep trading. That favors a team that's further on in mid, and they also have the lead, so they're really not the ones that have to push. It's Mictlan. Do you think they can get through with just an Inkvac and a Trizuka?
You know, if you can bait out specials, if you can bait anything out and keep those 2 specials alive, I think so. And maybe you can use the bubbler for that as well. But it's hard, right? You have to play that perfectly. Inkzuka and a Vac, that's enough for most scenarios, but you have to land the shots with an Inkzuka, and the Vac's got to be positioned perfectly. So that's gonna be hard. That's the challenge they face right now.
They do have their big bubbler, and they do have their Inkvac ready, and a member advantage. But they need to get in here unscathed. The Tri-Strike is coming down. The bubbler is down. Oh. They get the power climb in, but will the jumps be close enough with the next power climb? Yes, they do, and they get the lead. Mictlan Heros gets the lead with under 50 seconds remaining. Just a shot alive left, and that will be an effective wipeout. Great lead for Mictlan, but did they give up too much space? Did they give up too much space in the last little bit? Here comes the pushback from next time. It's going to be really close to see if lead can be swapped, and it will be. A power climb is going to be on its way. Will it get here in time? Will it be able to get in? The Slosher has one more climb. The power climb comes in, and it misses. It falls just short.
Hey, but you know what? We take those. That's a lot of points on the board. That's next time putting the pressure back on, and I can't believe how fast they clapped that back. That's why it's so important. You can't let your whole team go down like that, because that whole 2-fight scenario you need to get in, well, if the whole team's dead, you only really need 1 fight in a sneaky play like that. And there's 5 seconds left. Mictlan needs to do something right now, and unfortunately, I'm not sure if they're going to have it. This is the push. We have overtime.
They might have this. In fact, plus a big bubble. They get the clam into the basket, but they need a couple more. Can they get here? They've got members advantage in that clam storm. They just need 2 more, one more. Can they get it? And they do. God. Mictlan Heros coming out on top in game 1.
I'm sure everyone who's dealt with my commentator's curse knows what just happened, but I love it. I love those turns. I love those plays, and I can't believe Mictlan held on. I mean, and that's the thing. Next time had so much pressure, and they turned the pressure right back around. A lot of teams fold over when they're up against someone so oppressive, but they clapped right back. They adapted at the end, and they made that happen. What a play. And that's only game number 1 for our block. Oh, I'm so excited to see how this tournament goes. This is exactly what I wanted.
Yo, the bar was set pretty high for our first time on mic there, Bowser. It's gonna be interesting. We got Splatzone's Wahoo coming up for our next map. I want to see if either team is gonna swap anything up. I don't feel like One Shot should swap off anything other than to maybe E-Leader, because that gives them the extra little bit of range that they need on looking forward to this Wahoo game. Inkvac is great on Clam Blitz, I find. Inkvac doesn't have much success against other Ink, unless it's playing against other Inkvac comps, outside of, like, realistically, just Clam Blitz. It doesn't seem to have as much value. Sometimes on Rainmaker, but people don't talk about that as much. It's just spot zones. If you don't run an Inkvac, the Inkvacs just seem to struggle against each other. But besides that, I want to see what next time rocks. If they want to rock with that Nautilus again.
Yeah, the Wahoo World, though, is we were talking about it earlier. It's a stage where, like, if you're not sure how to break the zone, if you don't have a comp for it, it can be a very oppressive map where a team just holds mid forever, and I've seen so many wipeouts in my time commentating Splatoon, which has not been super long, and I've seen wipeouts here time and time again where it's just a clear knockout, teams don't get to play, and I feel like an Inkvac can do wonders on this map when you have a hold, but also, like, not so much if you're struggling to break into the point. So I'm curious to see what the comps are, and what I would suggest is not something that anyone's going to pull out, so I'm not getting my hopes up.
It's also kind of, the higher we go and the further we go into this Great White bracket, the more people realize, like, if you go to, like, the first game playing, you might not know what the heck an Inkvac is, and you're just shooting, and you might just fill the Inkvac up with ink, and you're going to have to deal with the giant blast that it exudes. The other thing is if you don't really shoot it, or just completely ignore it, because that member is useless. They're not doing anything other than sucking up ink. If you can allow your teammates just to, like, fight somewhere else, you automatically, by popping ink back, you pretty much make it a 3v4, not in your team's favor.
Now, of course, it has the secondary function where you can give someone the debuff, which is fantastic, but that requires good positioning and not being able to get flanked by said player while doing that. So you need that support from your team. So there's a lot of coordination there. And now we can see the comps. Oh, I like the dually squelchers. Think. Ooh, the slosher coming back. I like that.
The same, relatively similar comp. Well, same comp for next time. The comps swap up is our double wave breaker. The Mictlan special. They love to run those dually squelches. We've seen it. This is definitely not the first time. And then one shot on the E-Litter. This map, you're going to have to be playing a lot of jump rope.
Yeah, and I was going to say there's those safe places to put the wave breaker that aren't easy to break it immediately, even with sloshers. So you can just have, hey, you got to play some crazy Mario Party jump rope minigame while trying to control zone. And that can be a little bit difficult right now. Next time, on the point right now, sitting pretty with this nice lead. And again, first zone is really important here. This can be a super hard, super tough zone to break. You got to have your whole team ready for it. And I don't know where Mictlan is right now.
Mictlan is kind of stuck in their spawn because there's 3 members down. Double wave breaker, the key problem which we have seen teams run in the past with this double wave breaker is wave breaker isn't very good on the offense. It's great on the defense and in zone. But if you have one-shot hitting shots like that, That's the way that they need to get it. This Trizuka also needs to finalize things because there is not much time left.
Yeah, no, and this is my concern, right? What a play here. This backline push was fantastic. Is if you don't know how to break the zone, it can turn into knockouts so quick. And even now, I think they're gonna be able to get the zone, but
they did.
Good.
They did at the last moment. They needed that so badly.
it'll give you one more chance, I think, right? Maybe 1.5 chances to push the zone. But if you don't clear the zone and take control of it, again, now you have to do that again, and you almost lost the match trying to get in there. Yeah, double wave breaker. On defense, seems pretty nasty. On offense, it's looking a little rough. You keep seeing them drop it on this ramp here, up to this side of where we are, where the camera's facing, and it's just, you know, the wave breaker doesn't reach far enough for it to really allow you to push into sight. I said sight because we were talking about Valorant.
Yes, we are on C site right now. But C site is a fun site. Wahoo World, Trizuka coming out, trying to cap zone.
Oh my
Not
God.
really great to cap zone. Booyah Bomb, the specials aren't here. Can Mictlan get in here in time? They have to get to zone. Big Bubbler, all the members of next time are just painting zone and playing objective. Wins you the game.
It's just like that. Wow, oops on my Valorant terminology, but no, quite literally, if you don't take this site, this zone, you don't hold it, it's over, right? Like you need the opponent to have to struggle and to hear themselves, and once they got that set up, you know the double jump rope game is gonna be brutal. But if you can never set it up, that's rough. That's the hardest way to go down. And next time takes that one pretty clean, pretty easy, only losing zone once and not even for that long. And now we get to go to Tower Control Hammerhead Bridge, which I'd love to see what chat thinks about this one. This to me is like the most acceptable of ranked on Hammerhead. I find this map to be like okay.
Really? I would have thought Clamblitz. I feel like
Clamblitz is fine.
Clamblitz gets a bad rap all the time for just being Clamblitz. It's like the first 3 kids, which came in the first game, were like, oh yeah, we like them for all the unique things. The oldest child gets the most love because it's the one that got into Harvard. I'm talking about Splat Zones. The middle child is the one that mixed a lot of money. They got rich quick, which is Tower Control. And then the baby child, Rainmaker. And then there's Rainmaker has its quirks. It's the one that needs the most help and most assistance most of the time. That's the baby one. And then you have Clamblitz, the forgotten child that they forgot existed. Oh yeah, that's the 4th. That's Clamblitz in a nutshell.
Wow,
You know that's Nogami's happy little family called that. And then Turf War is just like the overarching god of Splatoon universe.
Yeah, Turf War.
That or Salmon Run.
I need to see your shooter family tree soon at one point. We'll map out all the games and what children hung out with who and what how do we get like certain game modes in certain video games? Like, no, listen, we'll do the whole thing. But yeah, no, Tower Control here, it doesn't bother me. I feel like all of this map's kind of egregious chokes turn into just sort of normal Tower Control, right? Like they don't feel like it's more oppressive than other maps. So I feel like this is a mode that teams really get to shine and just play some solid Tower Control. It's a bit long, but other than that, I don't think it's too bad.
It's Eye Warehouse. It's Walleye without the walls. Walleye Warehouse without the walls.
It's a long Eye Warehouse because it's long.
Yeah, I don't know. It reminds you of the good old times on Walleye Warehouse when it was fun, when Kraken existed and Killer Whale 1.0 existed.
So there's no change on next time, right? That's the same team they've been running.
They've run the exact same comp the entire time.
Yep.
It's Mictlan that's been swapping it up. They got rid of the dualies. They bring back the shot, and that's what they had junior last time as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So looks like they're keeping solid. Of course, I think their comp is pretty well suited for Tower Control. I don't think anything here is misleading or strange. Here comes the Trizuka. Are we gonna find a pick? No one. But sometimes all you gotta do is push them back. It seems to work out well enough.
Yeah, space is good enough. They get this first checkpoint. The first speed bump is out of the way. The only real speed bump. Yes, the first checkpoint is always a speed bump. The rest are actual checkpoints. But you have to get through that speed bump to really get a good push going. And Mictlan has done that. They also get Shockwave down. The Tri-Strike has been forced out of next time. Ooh, but they lose their front line. That shot has gone down early. Can they get this big bubbler up before they get to this second checkpoint? They should be able to. But will that be used?
We were talking about this. Just get the checkpoint, right? You have to have someone who's so willing to run in here and contest that big bubbler. And that's all just a bunch of free score and free points that will make the pushback that much harder for next time if they don't have the same things. Although, of course, they do. They also have the juniors, so we might see the exact same play. But unfortunately, 2 go down there. And Mictlan's just going to be pushing in right now. A player's forced to jump out. That's going to be a lot of free points and a really big push. This is a horrible news for next time, but looking pretty good if you're part of Mictlan right now.
Good news, they popped the bubbler on this, for next time. They got rid of the bubbler before they got to this 3rd checkpoint. The bad news, they have to face the Trizuka straight down mid. Luckily, they get 2 members down, but can they stay alive for long enough? Yes, Shockwave and crew are able to get in there. Misa able to follow up with that the splash roll. And Chupu, was that a scoop bag? I won't call that one out on the stream, but it looked like a soft bag.
But a nice recovery, nonetheless.
Yeah.
This is back on their feet. This is the hard part. You got to win a fight here, get the speed bump checkpoint, and then you got to fight like hell for the next one. Here comes the Ink Strike, the Tri-Strike coming down. Oh, finds
somebody.
one. Oh, wait, was that the bomb? I think that might have been the Splat Bomb. I don't actually think that was the Ink Strike.
Whatever it has, it's gotten them two kills, and they forced out the defensive Booyah Bomb before it could find anything, and the machine's gone as well. First checkpoint should be gone. They have their big bubbler ready for the 2nd checkpoint. They're back in this game all of a sudden. Next time, they have more life.
Ink Strike is back up. That's a lot of pressure. It goes down here, and it's going to force Mictlan all the way back. What an excellent return. Next time, doing a great job right now, but they got to push the tower a little bit further.
They didn't get tower. They couldn't push tower. The junior had fallen. Shockwave was fallen. Now everyone just wants to be jumping back to the slosher. If they can, that would be great because the push won't die here. But that's going to be dangerous. If those jumps get called out, bombs can pressure it. The machine can pressure it. But they luckily live.
And that's the importance, right, of knowing you're the last one, knowing when to back out. Because if you can redeploy your team, instead of this being a fight over mid, this is a fight over this first choke point and attempt to control it one more time. This is huge. I actually really like this for next time. Because, yeah, if you do end up going down like that, you need another push to keep that momentum. These matches are short. Splatoon is a short game, so any amount of time save you can have that'll help keep your team in the game, the better. 1 minute and 38 left on the clock, and it looks like they're starting to really push for this offensive right now.
This push has just been, it's a long and arduous push. They haven't really gotten any space, but they have gotten some kills finally. They're putting real good damage onto this 2nd checkpoint, which is good. They've got 2 members on the advantage. They want to get through this so badly. Big bubbler out to secure it. And now the game is down to 1 checkpoint.
And it's a late bubbler. It's right, like it's gonna allow them to get all this space. Wait, what's the score?
2-2. No, 3-1. Oh, can Misa stay alive? Cannot Misa stay alive? No, they can't. But they have the trades available with their teammate. Can Chibu find this with the Sasha? They need to find the connections. No, they're just gonna back off, and they're gonna let the Trower retreat back to mid, but they're still holding underneath the Mictlan's just snipe area.
Yeah, they can do it again. They just showed us they can do it again. They have the triple Ink Strike, right? That's gonna go out now. Oh, that Fizzy made me terrified. I would have died. That would have been me. This is possible, and it's very possible. There's a lot of specials
There's one
on Mictlan's side right now. There's one. Oh man, are they gonna pop more? Are they gonna hold this bubbler?
They have the junior's gone, the Nautilus is gone. That's dangerous. Now the Booyah Bomb's gonna be coming up for the defensive. A little bit early, stops the tower for now. How much more? How much more will these teams invest? Tri-Strike is gonna come out for next time. They need to win this here. They need to win this now. They need to win this to stay in the tournament.
I like this movement from the Slosher play right now.
Oh, they got 2!
Oh, they got 2. And look at this push that they're starting. Their team's at the checkpoint. They need 1 more point. They turn it next time with a proper 3 pushes in a row. Mictlan never fully getting a hold and stopping them from redeploying. And that's actually going to let next time win 2-1 in a nail biter. Oh my goodness.
Mictlan never saw mid again.
They never saw mid again.
They never saw mid. They could not get out of their spawn.
And that's the worst part too. If you let that player get away, you need to push and find them and not let them get their whole team back in, because they'll all just redeploy. It's some Battlefield stuff right there. Redeploy on squad leader. Oh, sure thing, fam. Like, whole squad shows up. Like, you can't let that happen. And unfortunately, after such a strong early push, I thought it might have been a knockout. Next time turns that definitively in their favor. What good plays. What a good first set. Oh man, I'm real excited about this. This is our first set.
Yo.
Oh man, I can't wait to see the rest of this bracket.
Yeah, this is... We got some more great action coming up for you. That was a a game 3 of a best of 3. So we will have our next round ready and ready for you right after this short break. I believe it's going to be Nawal versus Rising Wave on our stream for you.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Swimmer Sync 87. My name is Bowser, the Bowser. I can't even say my own name today, and I'm here with Genie, and we just watched a very good set for our first game for our commentary block. Genie, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I know that gameplay was sick. I know you're sick, not just as in the actual meaning of being sick, not feeling well, but you're also a sick human being. Because I can make your pick out. That was a blast of a time.
Oh, Big House was so much fun.
I miss it. I miss it so much. We're approaching 1 month, and I'm saying, you know what? I wish I had an extra day to spend with everybody. But you know what? You know what we do have to get us through the Depresso? Some more great action. Nawal, Rising Wave. Both these teams, I'm so excited. I always love seeing Rising Wave play. They are entertaining. Not to say that Nawal is not entertaining either, but whoa. Hagglefish Rainmaker is where we get to start us off here. A map that is explosive. You thought Rainmaker is no longer explosive with checkpoints, but my gosh, it feels like we get that, you know, on that, if anybody can remember back on Moray Towers, I know might trigger people saying Moray Towers, but climbing that wall with that Rainmaker and going to the top, I miss that feeling in this game because there aren't many skips. Hagglefish is got that juicy skip. If your teammates can paint your feet when you pop that Rainmaker, going down that middle checkpoint, and you can make that leap, it feels like you're climbing that wall in Mori Tower.
Oh, and it's such a good skip too. The amount of points, like, it's just so satisfying. Watching that score just jump, you're like, oh, and it's such a simple looking jump, but it feels so rewarding.
It's a Toxic Mist, a Burst Bomb, any little piece of ink can slow you down or shut you down. But when you make that jump, it is... I don't know. I've never won the lottery, but that's what it feels like.
Yeah, me neither. I think that's what winning the lottery feels like.
Yep.
Let's get into it. Let's look at our comps right now. My screen is so pixelized, I don't think I actually can tell what two of those weapons are.
We've got Nawal, Double Machine, Splash, and Junior. I am joining you with the Percolation. I have Canadian internet, which is currently dangling between a tree because our ground is too frozen for them to re-dig the wire.
No!
Yeah, so I'm like praying. Yeah. Oh, Enzap! Let's go.
Is it?
That is.
Okay, excellent. That's what I like to hear. And of course the Splat Charger. Big fan of that. One team down for both sides though right now. No one's grabbed Rainmaker yet. This is of course the start of most Hagglefish matches. This absolute chaos mid. Trying to find a pick here. Not going to be able to get that canceled. They're just going to move out of there. Let that booyah bomb rip. Oh, it was so close.
Machine does fall to their teammate though. There's going to be a big scrap on this right side. The right wing will be where lots of stuff is going down. Those drinks have faded, and the members of Rising Wave have fallen. There's going to be an Ingvac pop, but the Rainmaker just can still swim right through it, and the rest of Nawal is just going to be pushing up.
Yeah, it felt like a desperation vac. Oh, nice shot there.
Oh,
Getting the
somebody crossed the map! Excuse me!
Oh, excuse me. Oh my god, excuse me. Oh my god, excuse me. Never mind. It wasn't just like, I was like, oh man, unsuccessful back high line. Nope. I take it back. I take it back.
That was uncharged! That's as big as a suction bomb!
Yeah, no, you know, they're sick. I'm so glad to be wrong. I love being wrong when it's a shot like that. What a play. But neither team has really done anything yet. I mean, we've got some wonderful plays here, but this is a stalemate if I've ever seen one. Finally, Rising Wave gonna make a push here. It looks like they're going for this bottom side checkpoint, losing it right there on the nice number, unfortunately. And now they're gonna have to make a play. I mean, Inkzuka's a way to make a play to this. Yeah, they can get this. Easy.
They do get it, but they don't get the checkpoint on the right, which means that they have to go the old-fashioned way of, let's just hard push it down the side. Rising Wave, they lost 2 members, but they have the checkpoint. That is fine. They can get the checkpoint later. Sometimes it's smarter to go that left checkpoint, because that middle checkpoint is fully contested at pretty much all times. Everyone at this level knows that.
Yeah, and not only that, but if you go the other way, you have to just win a nice classic Splatoon fight. Whereas, like, it's a little hard to push in. It might be shorter, but it's a little hard to push in from the middle point. That being said, though, you take whatever checkpoint you can get. That's the first checkpoint got for Nawal Gaming. Is that how I say that? Nawal?
Nawal. I always just go with Nawal. Nawal.
Like
just sounds better. I don't know. I would like some correct pronunciation on it, if I can say the word correctly. But you know what? All I need to know is that both these teams, both checkpoints are gone. 2 minutes left. We got 2 minutes to have an old-fashioned Rainmaker game. Let's see who can take it from here.
Oh no, that fizzy bomb was so well placed. You don't want to be losing the vac like that. Nawal looking good right now. Good placement here, good aggression. They have everything they need to start a push here. And all they need to do is stop this push realistically to keep their pretty strong lead right now. But it's sort of in an awful spot. They're pushing this right side. There it is. Gets a great pick on that. Fortunately, this is kind of an awful place to get the Rainmaker.
It's great for stalling, but that's not exactly what you want to do with a lead of 59. 59, let's be honest, if you haven't hit the lead, you haven't gotten the lead.
Yeah, no, and you have the lead in terms of you have pressure right now, but you have to do this, fight your way out. And they do successfully fight their way out. Not something you see all the time here. And look at this, they push in so far, 25 remaining. Yeah, now Rising Wave's really going to have to struggle and make a play here soon. And, well, there's one way to do it. There's 2 down.
Only get more points? That went from, like, was it 21 to 15? Beautiful little points that could come down to the wire. We are under a minute remaining, so every little point that isn't a knockout will cause a lot more damage.
Yeah, but you know what? This Splattershot player going kind of crazy right now. Took out so many players. Unfortunately, They did let Nawal score a little bit more, but right now with the Inkzuka, they have all the pressure in the world. This is the play they needed, and that is the Slayer that they needed to go in there and cause some problems. Let's see if they can get another pick here. They're a little low on ink. They dip into the low ground. Oh, you didn't die to that splatter bomb. Good lord.
Well, they were going to try and go for a little bit of a sneak play with that Rainmaker, but they can't, and they can't get the right kill onto that big bubbler with the suction bomb onto the machine. That's going to be difficult. Rising Wave, they need to get into mid. Losing their machine, not going to help them. 15 seconds left on the clock. Nawal, what can they do to defend? They're going to get shot at the moment. 8 seconds. They just need to hold mid. Ink back has been popped, but that won't allow you to get to Rainmaker. Can the Rainmaker be grabbed? Can it be protected? That is the second question. And being protected, it won't be.
That's an unfortunate way to go, and I hate saying it was all in the hands of that one Splattershot player, but they already worked so hard, and I'm not sure who died there. You'd have to go back and watch the VOD, but you had to get another pick or two there, and unfortunately around that big bubbler, missed the opportunity for quite a fantastic play, and that, I think, would have been the difference maker in giving them a last push, but nonetheless, Nawal Gaming takes it, game number 1, and now we're moving to Clan Blitz on Scorch Gorge.
I love me some Scorch Gorge. Scorch Gorge is so much fun. That Hagglefish game was fun. Everyone loves it. Scorch doesn't have like the everyone loves it, but I feel Clan Blitz on this map just kind of works. Maybe because I loved Kelp Dome in Splatoon 1 and I loved it in Splatoon 2. Yes, everybody hate me, everybody cancel me. I love me some Kelp Dome. I love running across the gradings with my Splatling. I love playing Heavy Deco with the Splash Wall. Bring it, give me Splash Wall again so I can fight the E-Leaders, but you know what? I love Clan Blitz Scorch Gorge. It just... I don't know, in solo queue it works. I can play E-Leader there, I can play Heavy there, I can play Squeezer there, I can play Tent there if I'm not being shot through my tent shield, but... Anyway, I could rant all day about what I like about Scorch Gorge. It looks cool! The map just looks cool, and it's bright and fun and airy. Yeah, no, I agree. It brings back a... It's sort of, whenever people talked about, like, Splatoon being a post-apocalyptic game, which it is, I always think of Desert Wastelands when I hear post-apocalyptic, and Splatoon didn't really give us that until this game, and honestly, it's really cool seeing a deserty area with lots of stones, and those reds and those browns get absolutely covered in ink, so aesthetically this map is a very fun place for me, but I think the layout for Clan Blitz and for Rainmaker especially are pretty competitive. They're pretty nice. I like the way they look, and I find them to be quite a fun to play on, so we'll see what chat thinks, of course. I always like hearing their opinions on things. Yeah, then I'm gonna say I like Scorch Gorge spot zones, and then everyone... I'm looking like what's the dude from Tangled with all the knives at my throat? That's what I look like.
I mean, that's a spicy splat zone. That one's a little rough.
I play E-Leader, sit top mid, tell my junior to bubble me, and then I say GG.
Yeah, see, that's why you like it.
Yeah. And if I don't do that, then I just spam missiles with reflux because I want you off my mid, and then I just run around with grading and shoot everybody. But
see, that works.
That's just me. Or I could play Range Blaster here. I like playing Range Blaster.
I'm
not the only person in this entire world that likes Range Blaster. I know you guys watch Pro Char.
Range Blaster's fun. Oh, Range Blaster's such a good time.
As we wait for everyone to be ready in this game, I don't know. I like talking about the fun maps. I like really any map, as we do have Mincemeat coming up. Luckily, people, you don't have to leave because it's not Clan Blitz. It's not like we have to be here for an hour for the Clan Blitz. We get Clan Blitz out of the way on the Scorch.
Is this the part where chat flames me because I liked Blackbelly Skate Park?
No, Blackbelly Skate. What Blackbelly Skate Park did you like?
Turf
Please
War.
tell me. Turf. Oh, that's.
I was
interesting.
I was a Turf War rat. Like I played that mode nonstop. So
I have a. Yeah, that's a good one. I have a special place in my heart for that one. But you can go through. I want to hear your story first. My time to have the popcorn.
No, I'm a big fan of arcade games and skateboarding games, and so like when you combine a skate park with the the colors of Splatoon and the aesthetic and the jet set radio, like it's everything I ever wanted. So like for me, like that was like the coolest map because it married all the different things that I loved. You know what else I love? Clan Blitz on Scorch Gorge, starting right now.
I was gonna say action. I thought you were gonna say action, but I'll agree with you even more with the Clan Blitz on Scorch Gorge.
Double machine. Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it?
These are Splatoon 3 teams. We got one long range, and I'm a little curious. Nawal Gaming not opting for range.
like the Ealer pick here, it really sets the tone, allowing you to have that dominant force. You really struggle though on the pushes. Well, who needs to worry about pushes when you have everyone on the other team dead?
Yeah, right. Like I guess that's the thing, right? If everyone's dead, you're fine. But look at this Rising Wave. Got
they got 3. Oh my gosh, the machines, or was it the junior with the bombs that came out clutch to get 3? One power climb in with that many alive. That's crazy. Oh, I know they're gonna be able to punish these jumps. Can they punish these?
They gotta punish these, because I was going to say Rising Wave had a pretty free opening there, because I mean, look at all these Slayers coming out but no range. That's really rough. You have to take advantage of a disadvantage like that. Those trades were fantastic. And was it enough? We're gonna have to see though. Nawal hopefully can start a good push here. Here's a Booyah Bomb, but unfortunately 2 players now down. And that's gonna make it really, really tough. Such a nice play, only to fall short here. That's rough, as Rising Wave is going to get in position to start their own pressure.
Ooh, yeah, but the juniors for both teams have fallen. Booyah Bomb's gonna be coming out for Nawal. Ooh, both teams kind of just scrapping out in mid, trying to find any space that they can. Trades are going around, but neither team can find the foothold that they need to really get a push going. You need to get these clams. Rising Wave doesn't have them. Nawal does. They have a power climb at the ready, so they're the ones that if they get the kills, they can have a push going immediately.
Yeah, but the map pressure though. Right, like look at the way Rising Wave's been able to control the map. I mean, just now Nawal's pushing in. Oh, never mind. Maybe I'm just eating my words all night tonight. Yeah, I'm eating my words all night tonight. Look at Nawal. They're all the way in. They got the barrier. They're gonna get the clams, and that's gonna give them a nice solid lead. I don't know if they have. Yeah, they don't have any clams left. Okay.
No, they don't have any clams left. 71 is not a lead I would definitely write home at. Let us be completely honest with that one. But it is a lead nonetheless. A lead is a lead no matter how small. If you've heard me on the mic before, you've heard me say it. Because there are these games that eventually come down to the push that didn't seem like it was going to win, but it does win the game.
Yeah, I said it in one of my other blocks during a different tournament. I can't remember which one it was now, but I'm used to games like Halo and Apex that are longer, much longer. In fact, the game modes in Halo can be upwards of 12 minutes, but Splatoon gives you 5 minutes. That's not a lot of time, and so having a lead like 80 to 71, yeah, nothing to write home about, but it is enough to put Rising Wave on the back foot. They're the ones that need to make something happen now, and that's all you need sometimes. And look at Nawal right now. They're sitting pretty one player down. Oh, one player on both sides down, but this is going to allow them to potentially score again. Let's see how this junior does with this bubble. Seems to be working out pretty well for them. Multiple players going down there. No chance they're able to score.
Both machines, that's gone, are gone. The splash is gone as well, leaving the junior of Nawal just jump back, retreat, and regroup. Those are specials being used from both teams. The members of Rising Wave have fallen. One of them has fallen. 2 of them have fallen now. That will be their push snuffed out just as fast as they took mid themselves.
Yeah, they need to... I was worried that without the long range, Nawal would struggle here. But I feel like Rising Wave isn't able to set up good positioning for a push. They keep getting picked. They keep losing scraps. And while their defense there was quite nice and it gave them an opening, as we've said in other matches, just tonight, if you can't make that opening worth it, it can just snowball out of control. And speaking out of control, there's the net open. How much more can Nawal Gaming score? And I don't think
too much more.
No, nothing more. But still, like, more points on the board.
Yeah, points. They gave another power climb, so that could come back to a little bit bite them, because now they do keep one sitting in spawn, but oh no, they dropped one. They were too busy playing with their power claims in spawn, and they just straight up lose one from on the side of Rising Wave. That's dangerous, because now you won't really have a guaranteed lead now.
Here comes that Booyah Bomb. This is a really big push getting set up here. And there's still the Splattershot Juniors bubble right now. So we could see that defend as they go in. Here it is. Gates open.
There's no second power climb. They get the lead, but this could have been a bigger hole. We gotta mark this down. If they get to 29, if Nawal gets to 29, that power climb that they dropped in spawn will be the difference.
Oh, I don't like to hear that. And 22 seconds on the clock. It could come down to that. But good on Rising Wave. That's the lead you needed. Now you just need to have one proper defense. You need to hold them off, not lose your members early. The Booyah Bomb early. I'm not sure if this is the play. Let's see what they do with it. Gonna cut them off on the outside there. Gets a pick on the inside here. That's a lot of map control. Can you stop this power clam push? Well, there's so many people.
They're gonna go. They're gonna go for the jump play. No, they're not. They're gonna come for the defense.
Oh, look
at that. They get 2. They get 3. The sloshing machine comes up huge. Can they get 400? Can they
Get the fourth.
Can they get the wipeout? That's exactly what they do. Amazing, amazing job from the machine on Rising Wave.
For all of you who don't know, when you're on a crab tank, your head is exposed, and any ink coming down top side can land on the player, damaging the player and not the crab tank. And this sloshing machine player, with an accuracy unbelievable, just demolished everyone in their sight with some perfectly placed shots. That was incredible. That's Rising Wave, showing just how good they are. This is not my first time seeing them. They are very, very good at the video game, and that was some excellent sloshing machine play. I know you see that weapon everywhere. Y'all can say meta all you want, but that's impressive no matter who you are. That was great.
Morsa has been a talented player in Splatoon for quite a few years now, and honestly, giving a talented player a weapon that is strong, I really don't expect anything less. And clutch moments, your clutch big players in clutch moments, they make the plays happen. We thought that Booyah Bomb came out a little bit early, got their team some special, got them some space, they found some kills that they needed. They found an amazing triple with, I want to say, a fizzy bomb and 2 sloshes, and then found the 4th just off of their team wanting to get them. And we got that POV on stream, making it all that much better. If that's not entertaining, I don't know what is.
Splatoon is the game that keeps giving. Like, this game, I say it every time I'm on comms, and I really mean it. It's just, I commentate so many games, and I've seen so much esports and competitive gaming. The stuff you get in Splatoon is unlike any other game. I watch clutch plays in Valorant. I watch clutch plays in Apex. I know what it's like to sit there, my entire body like puckered, waiting to see if the team can make it happen. But Splatoon delivers that in so many matches. I don't watch a set in this game and yawn or be bored or any. It's always something exciting. There's always something crazy happening. God, this game is something truly special. And with that, game number 3. We're going to be heading over to Splat Zones on Mincemeat, another one that I liked that I got flamed for last time. How about you?
I love it. I play easier.
I love it. I play Tri-Stringer. So now that our opinions are out of the way,
I do play Tri-Stringer. It's just like the problem that most people have with this map. I find the frontliners, when I'm gonna be straight up honest. When the frontliners are not happy about something, they're the most loud and the most vocal about it. Chargers were very loud in Splatoon 2. Which is why I wasn't a Charger player in Splatoon 2. I was a Charger player in Splatoon 1, and a Spotling player in Splatoon 1, and played only Spotlings in Splatoon 2. But now that it's good again here, this is a map that if you give the Charger the time in the day that it needs, it doesn't need a lot, it will find a hole and rip you apart. Which is exactly why we will not see double machine coming in. We will be seeing a Charger battle.
And you see range on both sides. Again, this is a map too where the mid gets taken so quickly, so fast. A single Booyah Bomb, I believe, a Booyah Bomb and a single Splat Bomb, I think will take this zone if you place it perfectly. It's just, it's brutal. You gotta play up front, but if you get that reward, if you can get all the way up, you can make some crazy plays happen.
We did see some crazy matches on this map in the past in some other tournaments on this channel. But honestly, both these teams, it's never over until it's over. Last ditch effort can come into huge effect on this map, more so than I find any other maps, because the bomb spams here and your juniors being able to live are the crucial factor. If you don't have your junior, you will just struggle to find any control of this stuff.
Right now, E-Leader finally putting on that wave breaker. That could be really, really nice for pressuring zone, allowing your team to stay in the fight a little bit. Unfortunately, though, Rising Wave gets pushed all the way back as Nawal Gaming is actually able to get in pretty close. A trade there coming in from 2 players. That's 1 down for each side. Let's see if the Splatter Scope can find anything. It's the E-Leader Scope. I lied to you all.
Oh my gosh, canceling them on Twitter. I'm gonna be so mad. This is the E-Leader. How could you get it wrong?
You know, it's just, they're all so similar.
I was gonna say they're also similar. The Charger goes charge. Big Bubbler's gonna be popped. Wait, no, they will really deep here with their control, and they have the zone way down. Final fight here for Rising Wave after the members come back alive. And when the Chargers get those respawn punished kills on, the timers really start to eat away.
Yeah, Rising Wave's got to stop this push right. Okay, great. They had to push that stop it right there. And the wipeouts the best way to do that, if that was it, right? Like, they had to make that play there. Good patience, good control. And now they get to do this fun part where you try to spawn trap them as long as possible. This is a map that's a little hard to get out of here. You have to play pretty carefully, and it can be really hard. And that clock is ticking right now as we get another spot on the board. 50 points remain. Rising Wave is sitting very pretty right now.
Nick is gonna have this crab. I like Crab Tank at the ready. Gonna shred that Booyah Bomb. Not able to find the full shred. The Rising Wave. They're the ones in this position. They're the ones in the lockup. They have a Booyah Bomb at the ready and a big bubbler. Both are gonna be out. Should be able to hold on to the zone, but they lose their junior in zone to that spot bomb. They have the lead, but they're going to lose control of the zone.
Yeah, and they needed that push, and look at how close it got. I mean, of course, the pressure's now on Nawal Gaming, but losing that pressure and losing that point might have cost you the match, because now Nawal's going to be able to clap right back. And if they score anything similar to what Rising Wave just did, I'm pretty sure they take the game. So you have to get in there quickly and stop this offense.
Machine is gone, but the zone has been neutraled with the bomb spam from both teams. Both teams are in last-ditch effort range. So the bomb spam will be enormous. Big bubbler has been popped so deep in Rising Wave spawn. The Charger does throw that way bigger. Crab coming out. Splash does see one, does see two. Finds only one before going down. Zone's going to be neutral at 1 point differential, and Rising Wave able to hold on. Nawal not able to find the last moments that they needed to get the lead.
That's so tragic. It's so sad they have to eat all that penalty one more time, and they didn't even get lead out of it. They had to score just enough, if not slightly more, than Rising Wave to make that happen, and unfortunately 1 point short, a 1 point meme, as chat likes to call it. That's rough, and Rising Wave popping specials right now are going to be able to hold down the spot. 1 minute remains, and that penalty is ticking quickly.
Beautiful double spot. I believe the E-Leader just jumped back to spawn. Nawal, they've got one strong opportunity. The penalty will be gone before they even get to zone. E-Leader's gone. That's a trade, though. No, they've also got some more trades. Rising Wave, they're going to give up zone. Nawal, luckily able to get it. The zone's match will continue. But can they hold on?
I'm not sure. That's so many players down on both sides right now. Nawal has a good position, but they got to move through the rest of this penalty. But they're down a few players as Rising Wave's redeployment comes in. They're in control with 30 seconds left, but a lot of penalty. Nawal Gaming can't afford to lose more players. They probably only got one push left in them, and that's got to be happening soon right now. Look at the coverage right now from Rising Wave. They're able to really lock down this point. Oh man, and I was worried that the trade on Rising Wave side on Nawal's side of the base was going to be a problem. There comes a pick. They lost control. Oh my goodness. I think Nawal's going to have to hold this.
And their junior was the first one to fall, so how are they going to paint it? Booyah Bomb Crab Tank, can they get it? They get it. But they need the jumps in. They need to live here. They need to find a way. The machine's not able to find the Charger. Their shot machine are gone. Can the junior live in zone? The Charger finds a kill. Helps the junior stay alive. Can they keep the zone painted? And no, they can't. They've fallen, and that will be them falling out of this tournament as well.
My goodness, Rising Wave, such tenacity, such survivability here. Unfortunate for Nawal Gaming, they had that too, and it was such a clutch push, but to die there, you couldn't afford anything but a clean kill, and tragically was not able to make the play there. Maybe pushed up a little too far, maybe was too more worried about getting a pick to keep it even as redeploys came in, but that's unfortunate. Rising Wave picking it up on the back half of that, sitting pretty, 2-1 against Nawal Gaming, but that was a great set. And some of the plays we got to see too from the Slosh players, and oh my god, it's just such an exciting
quad. Oh, chef's kiss.
Oh, that quad was that's phenomenal. It's an ace, right? All 4 players, no deaths. Oh,
yeah. That's from cards, from card games. You used to slap the cards down if you had 4 good cards. I forget what card game it was. I used to play in like a high school or that. We used to. The volleyball team, which I was a part of, when they got an ace, we had cards at the card table, and we used to throw them out from like the crowd, and we used to say Jack, Queen, King, ace, and that was the thing. It was so good. But I don't know. They're gonna want us back on here. Grace is gonna want to put us back on here. We have had 2 intense best of 3s go to game 3. I don't think you want to go anywhere. Bowser and I are good luck.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's next.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Swim or Sink. I am Genie7, joined by Bowser. And before Bowser gets into it, we gotta talk about 87. You know, chat, you guys know hockey? If you guys know hockey at all, then you might know, like, Wayne Gretzky, you might have heard that name. But 87 is Sidney Crosby, one of the best players to play. He currently plays for Pittsburgh, and his number is 87. So I just want to shout that out before we end this tournament. And before we end this tournament, we do have to end on our grand finals. And we have two great teams here. Bowser, introduce them for me.
I'm still catching up on that one. I'm having a fever dream right now. We have I Do Not Know versus Rising Wave. Rising Wave, of course, has done wonders here on IPL. I've commentated many of their matches at a bunch of tournaments now. They're fantastic. Love to see them play. And we have I Do Not Know. And the first name I see there, of course, is Kyo. And what a fantastic player. And I see other names on there like Biscuit that I've definitely seen play. This should be a pretty sweaty, pretty wonderful match in Splatoon. So if you're looking for something pretty competitive, you're in the right spot for it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do not go anywhere. We've got our two of the last four SOS champions, Rising Wave, and I Do Not Know. I really don't feel like they need any introductions. All players.
No, I don't think so either. Really good players, really good talent coming through everywhere. I see. Is that a normal blaster? I think so.
Heavy, I see Heavy. I've been so demoralized because I have not seen anybody with any skill play Heavy, and I'm so excited to see SOS Grand Finals with a Heavy.
Babe, wake up! There's a Heavy in Grands.
Yo, I'm up. I am standing watching this. What? Oh, that's a Wavebreaker spot? I like it. I'm using it. Mine now.
What is that Wavebreaker spot?
No, it broke.
Excuse me? But it went sideways.
I'm talking about the Wavebreaker, and they're through first checkpoint.
Yeah, no, okay, let's talk about it real quick. This Splatling just running it down, such pressure, a wipeout on a Rising Wave. I Do Not Know with an excellent first push. I can't believe the pressure that Splatling player got to drop. And here's Kyo sitting in a really hot spot with a blaster. Almost gets a pick. No, does get the pick there. Excuse me, Discord layout causing me troubles right now. Oh my god.
By the way, GG's. Yeah. You have an embarrassment of riches. You can pick Kyo or Biscuit for blaster. I Do Not Know does not need to know who they're gonna pick on blaster. And they don't even need to know what's happening the rest of this game because it is over.
Walk it in. Walk it in, right? That was just a textbook. This team is on another level. They're horrifying. If you let them get that kind of pressure, they will control every single way out of the map, and you got to know exactly where they're setting up and how to push your way back out to stop a push like that. That is disgusting. I mean, the fact that Kyo just, like, walked up to the side there was like, I bet you cash money someone's coming this way, and then just blasted someone the moment they saw Ink move. But that's nasty. I mean, that's sick. I love that. Good lord, Splatoon. What if?
Yeah, exactly. Good lord, Splatoon. We are going to be at best of 5. Just to let everyone know, we are out of our playoff. We are out of our best of 3. We are in Grands. We have all 5 maps. Rainmaker, Undertow still away. Char Control Surgeon, realistically, the double bubbler was too much to handle. And they can get away with it because it's Kyo Blaster. I didn't even see who was playing Junior. I'm guessing it was Toon. I'm just gonna be honest. I think it was Toon, probably. We
talked about it earlier though, right? Like the bubbler strat's so good, you need to have killer whales or someone ready to go in there and stop a bubble push. And that's hard. That's not something you can easily prepare for. You have to react. Again, it may be a little too strong, you know, maybe we're hoping for some nerfs, but that strat you must prepare for, especially in something like Sturgeon Ship here, which has some kind of brutal choke points that you can bubble through for free if the enemy team isn't prepared to deal with it.
And it has the problem, in my opinion, Sturgeon Tower Control needed a rework in Splatoon 2, it kind of needs it in Splatoon 3. It suffers from having 2 checkpoints, and the big bubbler really exemplifies it. First checkpoint is kind of easy to get, and then you force 2 bubblers on second check, you get second check, and now there's no more checkpoints remaining. Simple game. It needs a 3rd checkpoint, and its tower path needs to go a little bit more in spawn. It needs just a little bit longer. because it
Yeah,
doesn't feel long enough, and it feels like, oh, tower is halfway to mid, and it's knockout time. Speaking of a map that I feel is actually kind of balanced, even though the map itself isn't all that balanced. Rainmaker Undertow Spillway.
This map has a very fun choice. You can either go towards the easiest choke to defend in the game and hope you get enough splats to make it happen in the short route, or go the long way, which has a really miserable choke, but you can steal some easy points if the enemy team isn't expecting it, or if you get a couple of picks and you have a free walk there. And it can be a hard choice to make, because this map, it's a brutal decision you have to make, and you have to go around the world to make it happen. But these fights at mid, they're going to be brutal, they're going to be crazy every single time.
And we do see Ghost, and I believe Ghost was actually playing Biscuit today. We do have Toon rocking that NZAP, and we also have Cam rocking that NZAP as well. Both double NZAP, a comp that we thought we would see more of, but haven't seen as much of. Both teams kind of losing members both sides. But that's going to be Rising Wave, going to be rocking with the advantage. Unfortunately for them, the jumps are in for I do not know. So both teams just trying to scrap it out in mid, see who wins this engagement.
It looks like this push right now, starting in the side of I do not know. 2 down for both sides, though. That's unfortunate. And that Rainmaker, though, sneaks in and gets some hella distance. I do not know. Going for that left side again. If you can hold this, this is a sneaky way to get a lot of early points. And if your team's got a solid defense, you can use this lead to pressure the opponents for, hopefully, the rest of that 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. Look at this.
They're just going. They're absolutely just going. They didn't want to pop that tactical, but they're going to die to that suction bomb. I do not know. Able to come up with a nice 14. A insanely good push on this map. But that won't be game breaking, because both teams are explosive.
Okay, the splatter shot getting picked out there, trying to make a sneaky little backline play. Not gonna work. I do not know. Getting a little cheeky with it. Rising Wave has a chance here to make something happen. They're gonna try to play for reset, I assume is what's going on right now. Covering up this backside so that they don't get flanked. There's the Rainmaker reset. Let's see how they handle this. We have a Trizuka gonna come out right now. Hopefully we can get some picks with that. 1 assist. No picks, unfortunately. Does push some people back, take some damage from that bomb. Is it enough to win that fight? It is 2 down.
3?
Wow.
Excuse me? And that Inkvac's going to be able to protect the Rainmaker for just a little bit of time, but the Rainmaker goes just a little bit too far and forward. Inkvac should be punished. It will be punished in a trading scenario. That will always favor I do not know.
Yeah, unfortunately, it'll very much favor them. As they move through this ink wall, they're going to try to get this pick on mid right now. Sort of an unfortunate situation to be next to a bomb like that. Playing a little too far up, and that's unfortunate. Rising Wave, though, at least they're on the board, and they're able to make a push. And they can definitely make another one of those. They're just going to have to look for a few more picks. Unfortunately, it's them who are going down 2 down on the side of Rising Wave. I do not know is able to push their entire base, actually. Oh my god, look at this stall.
How are you still alive? How is Ghost still alive? Are they going to find... Okay, I was going to say, you can't get away with a single kill here. This is not legal.
The Inksuka against the wall, if there were splats there, I would have been so sad for Rising Wave there. Oh, but here comes some more splats right now. 2 down, though, for I do not know. Rising Wave staying alive right now. Inkvac coming through.
They want a checkpoint. They need to get a checkpoint. There's under 2 minutes left, and they haven't gotten one. Luckily they have, but they now need to keep some members alive. They've lost 2, they've lost 3. Super jumps are back in. Kyo's in mid, causing destruction, as Kyo always does. And the rest of the members of I do not know are just trying to scrap this out. Rising Wave, they're able to somehow, Force is able to find 2 in that situation, somehow, some way, before being punished by Kyo.
Yeah, no, I mean, good trades coming out, but of course you have to somehow stop the pressure. You have to get out of base, and unfortunately, I do not know is poised for another really strong push, and they already have a lead. So this puts Rising Wave in a spot where not only do they have to get control of the Rainmaker or play for reset, but then they need to make another strong push, and no one's got special right now. There isn't a lot on the board. Rainmaker in the hands of I do not know. They're going to start being able to push, and look at this clearing out where they think players might be. Good patience from Rising Wave right there. The 52 cal player surviving, getting that pick. Oh, maybe they can get another one here.
Oh, the 52 cal, you see, no, Nick is not able to find it, but Toon with the trade. That's okay, Nick's favor, I guess. Not really, not great. But no, I mean, 30 seconds remaining.
It's gonna let them in. It's gonna let Rising Wave start another push, and they have some pressure. There's the Slosher player though, sitting on the side, though. Big chillin', trying to wait for that opportunity to attack. Let's see if this 52 gal player can get a push here and get a pick. Anything right now would help them get in. They're not far off, but here comes the ink strikes coming in. 1, 2, 3. That's going to allow a free push to mid. Did they see the player on their left? I'm not sure.
Are they going to get punished? They do, but that's going to be the Rainmaker gone. 6 seconds left, just the zap. Can the zap pop this Rainmaker in time? And they're not close enough. There's no way that I do not know will allow this to happen. And they do know that this game is also in their favor.
Incredible. They went the back route. They went the harder push path. They got 2 picks, and they said, you're not defending this, you're not prepared. And they walked it in so incredibly far, further than most teams get it on those backside pushes. And that was enough pressure to force Rising Wave to have an incredible uphill journey. And then when Rising Wave did get it, of course, they went for the slightly more obvious checkpoint, but that's a harder push. It can be really choked up, and unfortunately, they weren't able to get anything else after it. The left is, so I see it in chat, left is the harder path. It's sort of out of the way. It looks slower on paper. You would, if you got a wipe, you would want to go the other way because it's a little bit quicker, but that left side has a really nasty choke and everything, but if you can get past it, it's some free big points, and using that to pressure, using that to cause Rising Wave to have to work so much harder to clap back, I think is a smart play there. It's, in a lot of ways, it is easier, but I think if a team is prepared for it, you can end up getting pretty locked into that corner and unable to move out.
I do know that Kyo has been looking for a pickup to try and form another solidified team. Wants to build this Splatoon 3's version of his FT win. Not wanting to be called FT win whatsoever. So I'm wondering, if this good performance happens, if we're going to be seeing a team name coming out of I do not know. Because these members of this team, Biscuit Kyo, Toon, Agos, and Bolib, if I'm saying that correctly, I would like to be corrected if I'm wrong. I'm going to go with Bolib. Yes, that's what I'm going with. I want to see if this core kind of sticks together. Speaking of sticking together, and a good team coordination game, Clan Blitz. Clan Blitz screams the most team coordination of all modes at its base core. All modes need to have team coordination to be successful, but if you have zero coordination on Clan Blitz, you can't score.
Yeah, you're not getting anything done, realistically. And Museum is a special map because I've talked about this all the time. This is a long one. Like, it doesn't feel long, but because of the route you have to take to get to the basket, you sometimes end up having to win the 3 fights to make it in. You have to win a mid fight, and then you have to win a fight up on their net, and then you get to score. And then you get a wipe on when the enemy team is done pushing, and you barely make it through mid. And it's a hard one.
It's an S curve. There is a block that you can jump up to score more clams, and there's that beautifully placed cushion right underneath the clams basket, which nice and helps the attackers more than it helps the defenders. But you know what? This is a very hard pushing map.
Incredibly so. Let's see what we got for
Tetras. Tetras, a weapon that gets underutilized in this current meta. It is a difficult weapon to use. Its special is 50-50, but its weapon is dominant in this patch, except it just falls immediately. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a wonderful weapon, but of course it lacks some of the splatting power, some of the other dualies, some of the it has a better duel and more movement, but it comes at a cost, and that cost, unfortunately, when you get caught on the left, is pretty rough right now. And speaking of rough, Rising Wave is down. That is everyone. And I do not know is sitting so pretty right now, moving towards their spawn to get this first play done. Ooh, Crab Tank? When am I going to see this Crab Tank?
Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. We've got like 20 minutes till tomorrow. This game will be over by then. We can only go 8 minutes here.
Oh, still trying to find a pick. Look at the patience here. Here comes the Crab Tank to survive. Trying to do some Super Monkey Ball play here. Listen. Yeah, there you go. Find it. You can make that jump in Crab Tank? Wait, timeout. You can jump from there to there in Crab Tank?
Yes. Yeah, it's very interesting. And now, see, look at it. If you take that leap, you're already in their spawn. And this is how far I do not know is. They're already up on their snipe, and Rising Wave is not even. They don't even know they're there. Knock knock. Who's home? Nobody. Rising Wave needs to have an answer, and they need to have it now.
that's a solid opening, right? We've seen more off of an opening, but I do not know. Sitting at 65 is a great way to start, especially if Rising Wave can't clap back. Which right now I'm wondering how well they're going to be able to do such a thing, because I do not know has been dominant map after map, play after play. But just as I say that, kill goes down to a wonderful place, Trizuka shot. But yeah, this is a hard one, because again, you don't get a free push for taking out the enemy team. You have to win 2 more fights sometimes in order to get back into this match. And I don't know if God, the names. I don't know if Rising Wave has what it takes to take on, I do not know, in that regard. Win 2 clean fights in a row as players are going down from both sides. That's 2 on the side of Rising Wave. It's only 1 on the side of Uda, I do not know. And here comes that flank. Oh, what a wonderful pick there. Great stuff from the splatter shot. Turning on that one.
Now the machine just trying to find the space that they need. Here it goes. I do not know. They have the clam ready, but can they get a power clam? They see them directly in front of them. Do they want to push this any further? They have lost their touches, but touches will just jump back in. That's the thing with I do not know's comp. It is so much more aggressive because they don't have that E-Litter. They don't have to play that slow, I'm going to shoot you now game. They can just hit this go button. And the go button has been hit.
And if honestly this team is so effective at fighting, right? Like if your Tetra player goes down, but like you still got the bubbler and the sloshing machine player can throw a Booyah bomb. Does it matter that you don't have range and you lose a player? Nah, that go button, like you said, is always available. Ooh, what a pick there. Speaking of some range,
They need that.
said something about that. Yeah, they need that. They absolutely need that. That's an E-Leader again. I'm wrong. It's so pixely. Listen, it's not my fault.
That's what you need from E-Litter. It's like, oh, they hit a nice shot. No, if you're going to pick E-Litter in a Clamblitz game, you have to hit shots.
Oh, you have to
need
hit
to hit
those.
those. You need to hit that. You need to hit that. You need to hit that. Can you hit that?
Hit it.
Yeah, Big Bubbler doing the dances. But
Just the
that's
clip.
what you need. You have to do that. You have to be the difference maker if you're going to play E-Litter. 2 shots, great. 3 shots, amazing. 4 shots, congratulations, your team's beat carried. But you need to hit at least 1, if not 2, per fight. That is the feast or famine with an E-Litter.
Oh, look at this. Look at this play. This E-Leader's popping off, though. And I know we can't say it enough right now, but look at the pressure that they're able to put down. They're able to get that pick in close, too. Unfortunately, getting flanked again from the box. And that has been the downfall of Rising Wave. But only 1 player left from I do not know. They're going to hold on there. They're going to say, nah, I don't need to die. I need to get my team back in. As they get 1 pick, can they get the second one? I think they can. As their team starts pushing back in, they're going to rush the E-Leader player who misses the 50-50. Great movement from our Splashmatic player. Gets another one, and I do not know. He's just going to hold it down right now and extend their lead with only 37 seconds left. I don't like calling matches off, but this is looking brutal.
2 power climbs is all that it takes for Rising Wave to win this game. Except, as soon as I say that, if this power climb goes in for I do not know, then that could be changing. And as soon as I say it, it has Wipeout. I do not know is wiped off the board. 2 powers and 2 regulars. That will be the difference. We have 13 seconds. Make that 10. Can it happen? Rising Wave, here's your time.
This is such a tight spot to be. This is such a hard push to make. There goes 1. There goes another. It's only an E-Leader player left. Oh, man. You got to land every shot that you ever could make. Let's see it happen.
If you're going to shoot for the king,
Nah.
you better not miss. Because I do not know is here to take that crown, this crown of swim or sink 87. I messed it up.
Listen, it's my sickness. You're just grabbing it. It's okay.
Contagious.
I know, but I do not know. Look at how powerful it is. Look at how well the skill difference, right? Rising Wave was playing so strong, so well. They felt unstoppable last game, and then they come into grand finals, and this happens, right? It's just it shows you the strength of these players, and I kind of hope Kyo is looking to make this a team, because they're looking strong. The amount of flanks, the amount of coordination when someone was popping off on the side of Rising Tide, it felt like someone from I do not know was always there to like stop it. They were like, hey, they're doing great, kill them, flank them, cause them a problem, force them back in. There was only 1 moment where the E-Leader player was the one who popped off and got a bunch of picks and made an opening, right? Like otherwise nothing got started unless I do not know slipped up, and that is some crazy pressure to have on a map.
That was some pressure, and I've never seen Ghost play. I've heard rumors about the talent that is coming from Ghost. That was the first time that I got to really see Ghost play. and boy, am I excited to see them play in more tournaments. As much as I'm excited to update everybody on our other brackets that went on. We had Marine Melody in our Lantern bracket. Take it 3-2 over in a close set over What a Goal. In our Mako bracket, we do have Komodo taking it 3-0 over Infinity Rain. In our Hammerhead, we had Strawberry Limeade taking it over In Control Red Sun in a 3-0 fashion. And in our Great White Division, everyone knows what it was because we just watched it, but I do not know, taking it over Rising Wave in a 3-0 fashion. Congratulations to all the teams. And Bowser, I had fun with you today. I had a lot of fun with you today.
Oh, I know. It was a pleasure working with you. I had a lot of fun casting this Genie, and of course, we got to see some talent today. Yeah, you're right, Ghost. I have not seen them play once, and I got my eye on them now. That was some spectacular Splatoon play. I hope you all learned a thing or two. I certainly learned a thing or two, and I'm so excited to see where these teams go next time.
Yeah, with that, I'm going to look at the IPL calendar to see when the next event is. But while I am finding the calendar, would you like to update the people where they can find you?
Oh yeah, my name is X45X. It's X45X everywhere: YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, and I am moving to full-time YouTube, not as a streamer but as a content creator, which is very exciting. So there's gonna be a lot of YouTube content coming, so I hope you guys will stay tuned with me for that. And then Genie, where can the people find you?
Well, they can find me at Genie7 on Twitter, at GEENIE7 _ on Twitter, no underscore on Twitch and YouTube. But definitely follow my Twitter. I retweet pretty much anytime, any Splatoon tournament, anytime there's an event. So if you forget that there's a sign up for a tournament, I will most likely retweet it, make a comment about it, so you can know what is happening. And if you have some awesome plays, let me know. And if you want me to share anything about your team, please don't be scared to reach out to me. I am a great person to. If you reach out to me, I can tell the stream a lot more about your team, and it makes just, I don't know, the general excitement of the stream a lot better if I can tell you more about your team.
Hell yes. Chat, thank you all so much. I believe we have a raid going towards Prochara, so stick with us and say hello to them. He's you all know who Prochara is, and if you don't, an absolutely incredible content creator. But that's it for Swimmer Sync. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you on the next one.